The new season of living alone in the wild begins. 10 survivors are sent to the west coast mountains of Tasmania. The raging stream here, it's going to be their nightmare. They have to use their strength to survive here. This time they decided not to start again. Every player has to develop their hunting skills because they're holding on to win the championship. One of the longest surviving contestants will receive a $250,000 prize. The big guy got off to a good start, and he weighs a few pounds and is weak to catch. It's the first time I've eaten myself to the brim. This time, the team will challenge the location of the Tasmanian mountains in Australia. It has a very pristine jungle. The first contestant was 33-year-old Tom. He is an expert in trapping, plant and insect identification, and foraging. The second contestant is 31-year-old Eva. She is good at fishing and foraging in the wild. The third contestant is 30-year-old Shay. He has 15 years of hunting experience. This time he decided to do it in the wild. Number 4 is Ben, 38. He is a village English teacher, specializes in both live and dead body trapping techniques. The fifth player is 52-year-old Yonka. She is a single young woman with 3 children. Seeking comment on the message and contact. It's possible that the $250,000 was your dowry. The sixth player is 63-year-old Musa. He was the oldest survivor. He is also an expert hunter. The seventh contestant was 38-year-old Colleen. She has extensive hunting experience and good at making all kinds of tools. Is one of my favorites. The eighth contestant is 34-year-old Kylie. She is a professional carpenter, but she was born deaf. The ninth contestant was 35-year-old Carla. She's an experienced big game hunter. Carla loves to wander around. The show's biggest concern is whether she can settle in one place. The 10th contestant is 31-year-old Matt. He's a very professional hunter, but he has a wife and kids. Come here for the money. I'm sure he left for his wife and kids. Opening day. All 10 players are present. The scenery here is beautiful, but Musa was too late to appreciate it. He's carrying 70 pounds of equipment. He's already tired enough, but that's not enough. Keep cutting 2 pieces of wood to burn yourself out, to show that they are young and strong. Then whittle some sticks. Used to set up tents for temporary shelter. Stack a stove in front of the shelter. Does this fire keep you warm? He found a glass bottle nearby. I really hope there's something to drink in it. If there's alcohol, this high guy might actually drink it, because Musa is not afraid to die. He's been bitten by possums and foxes. I was knocked unconscious by a kangaroo. I was stabbed by a stinging ray. I was chased by a grizzly bear. As sad as that sounds, but he hunted a lot of animals. It also means that Musa is a hunting master. I came to live alone in the wilderness for a champion. Musa boiled a pot of water, although it looks yellow, but when you boil it, you drink it like milk tea. Matt's 51 kilometers away. No sooner had he arrived than he saw a fish in the distance. Maybe this will be Matt's fishing mecca. The environment here is beautiful. While it's still early, he wants to waste 5 minutes here freaking out. I'm speechless with these players sometimes. After the nerve, he needs to find a flat place to build a shelter. There are trees all around here, but I don't think it's a good place to build a shelter. If a heavy rain comes down, these locations must be flooded. But Matt chose to build a shelter here anyway. 1 rope, 1 tent, and get some twigs to make the bed. A temporary shelter was set up. The overall feeling is pretty good. Kelly's position at 7 kilometers. She feels a little scared here. Kelly found animal footprints on the ground. There was an immediate plan for a hunting trap. Here she can only get food by fishing or hunting. Kelly immediately began work on the shelter. She found animal droppings on the ground. Usually, these animals can be very noisy, but I couldn't hear anything at all. She needs a device to hear. Kelly loved being out in the wild. She lives with her wife. The wildness of the Australian wilderness can be very frightening. So, she had to set up the shelter before dark. Kelly built a wooden frame. Choose to build a shelter on the shore, and they put branches around it. This can effectively protect yourself against animal invasion. A strong wind blew outside at night. The first night wasn't good enough. Kelly was afraid to sleep at all. The trees were very loud in the wind. She decided to turn off her cochlear implants. Go quiet. It sounds good to sleep like this. But if the tree is blown down by the wind, she could literally be carried away in her sleep. It's past 4 a.m. the next morning. Matt was already awake. He heard an animal outside. Spent most of the night half asleep. Maybe not used to it. He just walked out with his headlamp on. In the middle of the night. Is this guy crazy? He saw a mouse under the log. This food delivered to your door. It's really wasteful not to eat. I never thought Matt would hunt for food in the middle of the night. But unfortunately, we can't find a mouse. He didn't like it. He decided to make traps to hunt the mouse. Stop looking, mouse. Matt's coming for you. The next morning, Ben woke up feeling great. He came to shore and saw a bottle. The bottle has a wide mouth. Very practical. It's fun picking up trash in the wild. Now he wanted a trout very much for breakfast. While he was fishing, saw a wild duck swimming by ahead. Too bad, I don't have a bow, an arrow. So far he thinks he has a good chance of winning. I've seen a lot of blind confidence. Let's hope he catches a fish to eat. At least not like the high guys from the first 2 seasons. It's just a waste of time. Matt's been looking for food all morning. He found a pile of grass. The white part of the root of these grasses is edible. He collected some back, but not to eat. It's about weaving a cage. He wants to catch the mouse from last night. The entrance is also reduced with wire. This trap is very well done. Matt put the trap in front of the mouse's house and cover it with leaves. Matt uses this trap to catch mice. I don't think Jesus could have saved it. Carla is exploring her surroundings. We've been out hiking since early morning. I don't know. I thought she was on vacation. Kara's got cameras nearby. Sure enough, an animal was recorded. I have to say this season's contestants are really hunting. Time came to the third day. Musa woke up one morning to find it raining. It's wet all around. He was going to make a small water tank out of the tent. Can store clean water. This is indeed a good idea. He whittled several pieces of wood, then put the tarp over it. It doesn't just block off the ground. It can also store rainwater. But I never expected that. And he put a bottle in it. Sometimes I can't figure out what these high people think. But he soon filled a bottle of water. People who don't know would think he was drinking. Kelly plans to continue perfecting the shelter today. She found a lot of rocks on the shore. If I'm not wrong, she was trying to build a stone fireplace. Stone fireplaces are very useful in the wild. Kelly quickly set up the fireplace. This girl does have a lot of hands. Strong practical ability. But it doesn't mean you can make a fire. Even with a poker. In this humid environment, I can make a girl look crazy. You have such a nice fireplace. Can't afford to build a fire. It really made me laugh out of my period. Fortunately, Kelly was able to light the fire. Let me give you your period back. Such a big stone fireplace. If you lay an iron net and put in some kebabs, send 10 more wives. I can stay until the show goes bankrupt. Time came to the fourth day. Matt woke up freaking out. When he got up, his muscles began to ache. I think it was starvation. He just remembered to get food. Dug up some earthworms in the ground. This should be great for fishing. There are many bugs in the field. Just dig around and you'll find it. Let's hope the bait fishing works. After Matt sets up his fishing gear, the next step is to wait for the big fish to bite. Here's what I really don't understand. Why did he only set up a fishing rig? Did you just bring a hook? Looking at the desolation before us, I'm starting to miss my wife and kids. I'm really speechless. If I were the show crew, face these players and send him home with a $500,000 fine. On Matt's body, I don't see a champion in me at all. Let's see how many days he can stay. Time came to the fifth day. Kelly's current shelter is the best. Now she felt exhausted. You don't go fishing until you're almost starving. These high people are playing to a physical limit. Kelly came to the shore and saw a big trout in the water. She'll just stand on the shore and spit and never put down the hook. She fished with 2 rods, but I don't even know if she used bait. As soon as the players are free, they miss their families. I just can't figure it out. What happened to Gringo being thrown off the road to fend for themselves as adults? How can Wilderness live alone with these players? You miss your family after a few days away. Kelly said it was because her father loved her so much. All that caused the father's leukemia is gone. I couldn't figure it out for a second. Is this relevant? Does Kelly herself emit formaldehyde? She whittled the stick in her hand smaller and smaller. Kelly slowly began to cry in memory. The 2 fishing rods never moved. The big bird in the distance had been watching her. It made Kelly feel like her father was watching her. How much better is Musa? He's been drinking rainwater these days. Today he plans to go fishing too. First, find some bait. He rummaged the shore for some haystacks. These earthworms can be used for fishing. Soon another big worm was found. An earthworm this big could be used for sashimi, but Musa chose to use it for fishing. Personally, I feel it's a bit of waste. Such a big worm on a fish hook. You sure you're not afraid to get ripped off by a fish? If we're lucky, we'll catch a fish. It's a waste of a sashimi meal. It didn't take long for the rod to respond. Soon a fish appears in front of the camera. This fish is not big, but enough to feed Musa. He handles fish on shore, but he got rid of all the guts. Wouldn't it be better to set up hunting traps? A light rain began to fall. The fishing rod is stirring again. Musa caught 2 fish in a row. This fish is closer and bigger than the first one. 2 worms for 2 fish. This is really paying off for Musa. A fish eats 2 meals, so 2 fish can eat 5 meals. Musa keeps the fish in an iron pan. So much food at a time. He doesn't know what to do. So far, we've only seen 5 players. Let's move on to the other contestants. Yonker spent the morning on the shore, enjoying the view. This is a granny contestant, sitting on a log, all morning freaking out. These high people don't starve to death. They're not actively looking for food. I have a hard time understanding their behavior sometimes. There's a lot of water around Yonker. She thought if the flood came, it would overwhelm her shelter. So she's going to explore the other side to find a most suitable shelter site. She shuttles here and there in the jungle. There are many trees here, but it looks bare. There's a clearing here, and it is far from the waterfront. Even if it rains hard, it won't drown here. She's here asking about trees. Can we cut them down? Tree's too late to refuse, and she took it upon herself. The tree has never been so speechless in his life. Shay was out all morning looking at the view. He lit a fire in an open field near the shelter. I don't understand. Why so far? He showed us some objects, with a block of salt, and some lines that don't look like fishing lines. He's gonna make some traps. Tie the salt block to it, so animals will come and lick it. I've never seen such an innovative way of trapping prey. Then he prepares to set the trap. Shay plans to stay for about 300 days. Trapping is his forte. He's here looking for a suitable trapping spot. On the ground, he saw some animal droppings. Guess it was left by a possum, and it's fresh and appetizing. Shay puts a block of salt here, and set up cameras nearby. High hunting players just do things differently. On the third day, Tom plans to build a new shelter today. First, he had to find a relatively dry place. The terrain here is relatively high, and the location is relatively empty. The surrounding trees can effectively form windbreaks. He was clearing the ground of weeds. Some white parts of the root were found to be edible. I noticed now that Tom's hands were like this. Before we start building the shelter, he needs to wear his own robotic hand. This arm could do a lot of things, although the work is not very flexible. But at least it works. Tom's survival does have some disadvantages, but his positive attitude is very good. He made a wooden hammer, set up a tripod. It looks pretty good. It was after 6 o'clock in the evening. Shay is weaving a fishing net. It's supposed to catch possums. He spotted a game in the tree. This is a furry possum, but the position is too high. Shay couldn't catch it, but it doesn't matter. As long as there are possums around, you have a good chance of catching them. Time came to the 4th day. Eve has been basking in the sun all morning. Maybe it's the heat. She quickly took off her pants. Yeah, she needs a shower. She's gonna take a shower in the wilderness in front of me. There's never a shortage of bathing girls in the wilderness alone. Shay is the most conservative I've ever met. And you shall wash them before me. And put your hands in the way. Okay, you block me, I block you. No one's gonna see it. After taking a shower, she started building a shelter. It's this simple tripod again. Then put the tarp on. A simple shelter is ready. Next, she needs to make the bed. She set up 2 more tripods inside the shelter. Then line the middle with wood. I've never seen a bed built this way before. It can be very effective in separating the ground. But a wooden bed like this would be hard to sleep on. Soon a bed was built. Eva was just right on it. On the 6th day, Muse has been sitting here all morning freaking out. There's never been a shortage of hippies living alone in the wilderness. He caught 2 fish today. He's the first player ever to hunt successfully. Gringo eating fish is weird. Or you can just cook grilled fish. Or just fry in a pan. He intends to eat the 2 fish in one sitting. Or maybe just too hungry. Fish without any seasoning. He still smells good. This is enough fish to make him shit for the day. He burped before he finished eating. He went back to check the line. Fishing is by far the easiest food available to him. Unexpectedly, he caught another eel. 2 fishing rods in a row caught eels. Eels twist the fishing line underwater. Musa needs to get in the water and catch the eels. I didn't realize how much this head weighed. I can't imagine how delicious this eel will be when roasted. After he got rid of the eel, I went down and caught another one. The second eel is just as big. Musa was grinning from ear to ear. Thought the 2 fish had got him off to a flying start. I didn't realize there were 2 eels. That's a lock for the championship. He takes the eels back to the shelter. This should weigh a couple pounds. What a lucky day. Shay was all about hunting possums. Muse is already stuffed. He's still starving. He gathered some firewood. I'm gonna make a possum trap. The nets we made last night were set for traps. He's looking forward to seeing the possum on his tracking camera. You have to walk part of the way to the trap every day. It takes a lot of energy. Why don't you just go fishing and eat your fill? Shay checks the tracking camera. Sure enough, the possum showed up. The salt blocks placed successfully attracted the possums. Shay checks for possum tread marks. It makes it easier for him to set up the switch. Although Shay didn't fish, but the way he sets up traps to get food is very interesting. The big boys usually survive to the end. Shay tied a pile of wood with string. The plan is to use the wood to kill the possum. Shay has a lot of hunting experience. He caught a lot of possums, so he was confident about this hunt. The organization is very large. People who don't know think he's building a shelter. He stood at a height of 3 meters to set a hunting trap. If I can actually hit a possum, I think it'll knock the brains out of a possum. The big guy's trap is really strong. Shay demonstrates the professionalism of the hunt all the time. Then we need to hoist the wood up. Can this string really lift so much weight? Then he spread a net on the ground. The trap is literally a dragnet. Here Shay speculates how the possum walked into the trap and licked the salt block. He is very confident in the plan. I'm sure I can catch my prey. Colleen applying makeup at the shelter. Is she dying? In the wilderness of no man. She made herself look so pretty. We'll draw the ghost in and she'll scream her ass off and no one will save her. Today she plans to complete the shelter. She doesn't really know much about wildlife. I just wanted to give it a try. Looks like another soy sauce contestant. She collected a log, then propped the wood under the tent. Such a simple thing to do. I didn't know what to say for a second. The time came to the 7th day. Matt showed us his $1 million house in the morning. This shelter is perfectly constructed. There is an entry terrace at the entrance. The shelter is enclosed in wood. It looks very solid and neat. This shelter looks like I want to move in. It's probably the best shelter for any contestant. Matt hasn't eaten in 7 days. He tried to put the net into the water. They even put the old rat cage in the water to catch fish. You used everything. Just can't use a hook to go fishing. The shelter could not be better. If there's no food supplement, I'm sure I'll get kicked out of the tournament. After sitting here for hours, pull up the net. Nothing. Just like that, I want to catch fish. It's so unprofessional. It still rains from time to time. Matt can't go out to work. Even if it doesn't rain, I can't work either. I've seen a lot of soy sauce players. He's already thinking about going home. Time came to the low 9 days. Shay decided to check the traps today, before I got close. And you see the results. The trap has not been triggered. This made him feel momentarily disappointed, because he hasn't eaten in a long time. Fruitless hunt. He had no idea of going fishing. Shay found earthworms on the ground. He put earthworms in an iron pot. I got a lot of it all at once. So many earthworms could be used for fishing. But it seems Shay had other ideas. He even cooked earthworms. No way. This high guy cooked a pot of worms to eat. My brain shrinks when I see that. So many earthworms he could just swallow in one gulp. I can't figure out why not go fishing. Is the fish not delicious? Matt was wandering around the neighborhood. He is very hungry now, but he doesn't go fishing. Instead, eat grass. These contestants are really out of my depth. At night, he sat in the shelter, unable to sleep. Now he's really hungry. I really want to have a midnight snack before going to bed. He came to shore to check the nets. I didn't expect him to catch an eel. The eel was his first kill in 9 days. This made him feel very excited. What other surprises do they have in store for us next? Look forward to the next video. This is a class of players who don't want to be wronged at all. When he was hungry, he went to the water to catch fish. You get bigger and bigger than each other. The biggest exaggeration is this eel. It's almost longer than my legs. I can't imagine how good this is. Even the shelters were built to a high standard. Just look at the frame. Even the gaps were filled in. Where is the challenge here? It's clearly just a picnic camping trip. I wonder how long they can hold out here. Day 10 of the challenge. Matt wakes up to the view every day. The mood is so good, mostly because I caught eels last night. Look how tender that meat is. Make sure every bite is full of fat. If I could catch an eel every week. I wake up laughing when I dream. Put the eel in a pot and continue to simmer. The smell of meat is so good. Matt enjoyed his meal in the sun. It went exactly as expected. Fat scurries through the teeth. So wet my throat, I don't even have to move. I wish my family could experience it. It's a good place to spend your vacation. A fish in a pot of soup, full belly is not noisy. He had more confidence to hold out a little longer. And what about Eva? Inside the shelter, it was warm and dry. Warm yourself up with some warm water from 82. What suddenly flashed by? On closer inspection, it looks like a banquet. I never thought they'd be so bold. Turns out there's still food around. As long as we can find a place to hide, we can add something delicious to the menu. I'm still full of energy. Eva didn't realize she could starve so much. It's been 10 days, and I still don't have an upset stomach. I've been working these days. In theory, the body should be weak. In reality, however, there is no problem at all. I didn't know I was that good until I pushed. There were rats in the shelter last night. It's a shame we didn't catch it and cook it on the fire. Maybe we can set a trap. It happened that Mouse came to chew the wood again. Boy, did you play Eva like a soft touch. Take the rock and throw it at it. That rat got away fast. The toothbrush that was stolen last night was recovered. So close to eating the rat cake. Can it taste good without any seasoning? Now here's the problem. I don't know if a mouse-chewed toothbrush works. Colleen had no such trouble. Come here for the lie-down challenge and lose that much weight. Better than any fat camp, you know? Go nearby and order a healthy salad to quench your cravings. Except for my stomach growling all the time. The little days were pretty good. Friends who love to be in nature. Real Name recommended everyone to sign up. Truly live healthy every day. There are plenty of plants around to eat. I can last a month on this alone. The problem is not a vegetarian. In the short term, I can barely live with that. She'll go crazy without meat all the time. So reward yourself with some good protein. Freshly dug up baby beetles. The nutritional value is several times that of beef. Colleen was somewhat resistant to this, too. The thought of that juice swirling in my mouth. It's really not something that most people can accept. If you can't even eat a worm, it's hard to do well in wilderness survival. After a struggle of thought, decided to use it as bait for fishing. It's not that I don't want to try. I just want to take a chance on cycling. Colleen smiles awkwardly for the camera, suddenly threw the worm in his mouth. Dude, you're lying to your own brain. I barely chewed it. I just swallowed it. I didn't taste anything. My suggestion is to have a few more. Colleen thinks it's just eating bugs. It wasn't as hard as it was supposed to be. Her goal was to survive until the end and win the prize money. Put everything you can eat in your mouth. Kelly's over there preparing the materials. Talking to myself on camera every day. Plus, the surroundings are incredibly quiet. It's really easy to drive people crazy. The gill nets are almost as well woven. As soon as this is done and thrown in the water, I'm sure I can catch a fish and eat it. I don't know if my body can hold up. I work here every day. You can imagine the energy consumption. Not much with your own fat stores. There's not much time left for her to get food. Put all your hope in the gill nets. If we can get to deeper water, the chances of catching a fish will be greatly improved, at least until it's fixed on the tree. The water is not very hot right now. When you get in the water, you have to worry about hypothermia. Just use the ropes to make a pulley system. Fix it on the tree over there. In theory, you only have to go in the water once. Kelly to be able to get food. I had to get in the water if I didn't want to. He was shivering before he even got in the water. Not to mention how bad it is when it gets in the water. It feels like it's not even my foot, except it's a little colder. There were no surprises. Now it's time to get dressed. Kelly finally feels her body back. The pulley system is pretty smooth. Gill nets are able to reach deeper areas smoothly. Things are looking up. You never know when you're going to catch a fish. Shay sat at the shelter, hungry and doubtful. For 10 days, nothing but water. I wonder how the other contestants are doing. I guess no one has it worse than you. I don't hear any animals around here. I don't think the trap's gonna work. Still gotta check it out, though. Even if I don't catch it, at least it proves there's food around. The mood can also be a little better. Only the trap collapsed to the ground. Something must have gone in and out. Doesn't look like a little guy got it. Take the time to check the camera. Can you guess what's gonna be delicious? It was a wallaby. There is no way to trap a trap. The good news is there's food around. The bad news is I'm not sure I can catch it. Let's just eat the bugs. The more Shay thinks about it now, the worse it gets. How is that big piece of meat missing? Just want to ask the show crew at this point. Isn't there any other food around? The challenge continues on day 12. Matt is good at emotional self-mediation and in the mood to swing in front of the camera. Unfortunately, the happy times did not last long. I was soon confused by hunger. He's thinking about giving up the challenge and going home. That's the first time I've been away from my family. It just feels so bad. Not enough to eat and sleep every day to survive and worry. If it wasn't for the eel, I quit the challenge long ago and go home. I still remember that meaty smell, even if you didn't put any seasoning in it. The broth alone can make several bowls. You should have left the bones to boil. At least there's some grease in the soup. It's better than drinking cold water. At night, it's time for eels to be active. The meat depends on tonight. Of course, night fishing is not a small risk. Sitting here takes away a lot of heat. If you accidentally fall in the water, you'll get wet. You can withdraw from the challenge on the spot. No matter what, Matt has to keep going, okay. He didn't know if anyone had pulled out of the challenge. I'm going to stay as long as I can before watching others go on the challenge. Know that the environment is not very good, but at least there's something to eat. How come you're an eel? You can't be targeted by the show. We should get a net and put in the water. Fishing every day and night is a lot of torture. How do you think we can win the prize money? Maybe we should go hunting in the jungle. Fishing is a little harder here. I was just thinking about going back to the shelter. I didn't expect the line to tighten up. Good boy, get your hands on it and get it up. That's what I want to see. Don't look skinny. This eel is longer than an arm. Enough to keep me full for 2 or 3 days. Thank nature for its bounty. I didn't waste my time sitting there blowing the cold all night. Just keep it that way. I can't say Bao will win the championship. At least there's some hope for the top 4. The challenge continues on day 13. Musa as the oldest player. That's a lot of wilderness survival experience. Things have been prepared in advance. The shelter alone is a lesson to the other players. Even if the weather gets worse and worse. He relied on smoked fish. can be more comfortable than the other players. The smoker doesn't just keep the fish in storage longer. It also dries the wood. The little days were very full. Look at that eel broth in the pot. The grease makes your mouth water. Musa pumped it straight into his stomach. I never thought eel could taste so good. If I could just put some pasta in there, let him eat it for the rest of his life. We've had contestants pull out of the challenge at this time in the past. I can't believe no one has quit the challenge yet. Musa was worried about starting the others. But seeing all that eel meat, it's a little bloated inside. Eat and drink enough to the shore to check the fishing line. As long as we catch a big one in a week, then you're not here to suffer in the wild. I'm here to enjoy my vacation. All ready for today's Air Force. I didn't realize I still had fish to deliver. Boy, I'm afraid there's no room for the smoker. Musa could think about getting another shelf. This fish has a surprise in its belly. He's also getting caviar for the first time. 100% natural and pollution-free. It must be fresher than what you get in a hotel. Put it in your mouth and taste it. Just out of curiosity, isn't it possible to eat straight? It's good to get your strength back anyway. Musa thinks he's won half the battle just by being here. Few people have had it better. Don't you know what it's like to eat in the wilderness at 63? The challenge continued on day 14. Carla woke up and started packing up and moving. She doesn't think starvation is a problem. Anything to solve the cold problem. That's why they spend so much time and energy on shelters. I'll admit it when I'm exhausted. At least we can show them what we can do. This shelter is hardly the best, but at least it's better than the rest. Now we just need to put the tarp over it. The shelter is barely habitable. There are still a lot of details to work out. Carla figured if she could get a good night's sleep. Food has a way of getting rid of it. So most of the time, we're into the shelter. Fill in all the gaps. Make it truly waterproof and windproof. Preferably one where you can wake up from lying next to a fire. Overall, there are no major problems, but I want to get better at it. I set aside some time every day to find food. The main thing is that stomach keeps growling. I can't ignore it. At present, the main way to get food is fishing. The main thing is to sit there and rest. Wait for a fish to bite before you pull it up. Carla didn't even expect to catch an eel, and they're all so big together. That smile is harder to put down than AK. I think it's the biggest one we've caught so far. Too excited to know what to say. I thought I'd do without a fire for the night. How can you stand it now that the eel is in your hand? Do you want to cook anything? Kelly wasn't so lucky. My whole body aches like hell. The body can't go without food. Her strategy here is fishing. Every time I feel like I'm starving, there will always be fish to comfort you. To make the gill net more successful, I'm going to use what I have to make a fake fish bait. This is more attractive than any of those bugs. Try it on a fishing rod and see what happens. The hand toss can only be a short distance ahead. A couple of times, it landed on the shore. You might even wrap your fingers around it. It turns out gill nets are better. At least you don't have to worry about getting hurt on a hook. Repeated attempts have not worked. You still need a professional fishing rod to throw it. It's putting me in a bad mood. Just a place to lay down and rest. She really doesn't know how to change the situation. I've been torturing myself with hunger. What's the point? Without a steady source of food. Kelly thinks she's going to have to go home sometime. The challenge is on its 15th day. No one's quitting the challenge yet. Kelly's going to try her luck at the creek. Funnel traps for that purpose. There's no reason to have so much stuff in hand. Not even a small fish was caught. I don't think any writer would write that. It's not that far from the shelter. I was worried there was no food. Now say you saw a fish in the creek. Step carefully into the water and approach. Take the opportunity to throw the stick. Boy, I'm surprised we caught it. Why don't you use a funnel or a gill net? It should scare the big fish away. Now, it has to be made out of stones. Try to stop the fish, leaving only one exit for the funnel. In theory, all the fish will come. Just make sure the funnel doesn't tip over. The abacus was banging. I don't know if the fish in the water will come. Kelly kept an eye on the water. I didn't realize the fish was actually heading for the funnel. Food delivered to your door that can't be delayed for a second. Pick it up and check it immediately. It was the big fish. It turned out that I was hungry. There really will be food to comfort you. Now Kelly thinks she's good again. I'll show you right now. Enough to feed himself. Moved to tears. It's not easy. I knew there were fish on this side of the creek. You should try your luck every day. It doesn't matter how hungry this fish is. It's not like I'm being held to death. Kelly cleaned the fish briefly. She's going to treat herself tonight. Day 16 of the challenge. It's about to rain hard outside. Matt didn't care at all. The shelter is strong and unaffected. I still have food to eat. I'm sure I can handle it this month. Is there nothing wrong with your body? It's just lacking in spirit. Been wondering how your family is doing. It is a very painful thing for me. If we can win the prize money, that's fine. If you don't get it, you miss out on growing up. I might as well go home now. Matt waited for the rain to stop on the shore to enjoy the view. You never get tired of watching it. The longing for home has far exceeded the desire for the prize money. Physically, it's okay to starve for a few months. Only the mental torture is very hard. The thought of a child asking where daddy is. I feel terrible myself. In fact, there is no possibility. They want Matt home early, too. Just a bonus kind of thing. Matt didn't say anything. Pick up the phone and call the program team. Someone's finally quitting the challenge and going home. This year's players can starve. Is prone to collapse in the face of loneliness. That's the hardest thing about living alone in the wilderness. People often ask, is it really that bad? My suggestion is to try it on an island first, let alone a week. It's not easy to stay for a day. Anyway, it's a good thing Matt's gone, okay? Everyone is getting closer and closer to the bonus. I wonder how the rest of the contestants will do. Let's wait and see. Anyone who likes to see the wilderness and live alone knows that. The main food source is fish. Determines how long they can last. I mean, they're all wild survivalists. But there is a gap between the great gods. Some people even put out their fireplaces. Directly achieve the freedom of grilled fish. Others can only make soup with worms. Force energy to survive. The gap between the two sides is so big. Let's see what's going on. Day 16 of the challenge. Today happens to be Eva's birthday. I made myself an elaborate cupcake. It's the kind that money can't buy. Now, there is only one wish. That is to keep yourself full. What could be more important than that? She spent her birthday in the wilderness last year. There was nothing in the desert. Can only eat some of their own cans. Where is there nothing to eat now? Just a little more northwest wind into your stomach. I had no contact with the wild. Not a very happy time. I'm overwhelmed by everything. I only feel relaxed when I'm in nature. It would be even better to win the prize money. At present, I mainly want to feed my stomach by fishing. I get to fish on this shore every time. The location is not very good. Haven't had much food yet. Hope the birthday buff brings good luck. If it wasn't for the constant rumbling of hunger, it would be nice to lie here and enjoy the view. Maybe it's time to look elsewhere for food. And take a look at Kelly. I was going to catch some fish to eat. I caught a fish in a cage yesterday. It's been a long time since I've had enough to eat. So now I am very confident that I can complete the challenge. If only I could catch a few more fish. I won't be hungry for a week. I'm back where I was yesterday. Fish have been seen swimming in the water. Now, move the funnel to the import point. What about the water? As soon as a fish comes in, you pick it up. It's definitely easier than fishing on your own. This challenge has made me improve a lot, especially when it comes to starvation. Who would have thought they could starve for 15 days? Just as Kelly was feeling it, a fish rushed in. Boy, that's a really good idea. Another big fish ready to go in. Hit the fish in the head with a stick. Now you don't have to worry about it falling into the water. There must be roe in that belly bulge. You know, the caviar you don't even want to eat. You can eat any fish you catch here. Freshness, that goes without saying. I feel it pulsating in my mouth. As long as there's nothing wrong with the creek, it should be able to ship steadily later. The funnel was conveniently placed on a nearby tree. Aren't you afraid the wind will blow you away? Let's start at the current pace. Kelly did have a chance to make it to the end, and Shay says she wants to eat too. It's been a long time since I've had a full meal. The whole person was so weak. Going on like this is not an option. Eating fern root every day is throwing up the whole stomach. The worms make up all the protein. Put in a pot and soak it in water. It became my favorite broth. I can't say how delicious it is. In any case, the nutritional value is very high. Perfect for when you're hungry in the wild. there's still food around. The traps we built didn't work. If we can get the trigger right. Freedom to roast meat is not a dream. There's been no activity in the traps lately. It feels like there's still something wrong with bait. Two bad bugs are easy to get around. I want to catch a trout and taste it. Has he forgotten what fish tastes like? There's nothing you can do right now. Just enough to knock the steel. Made into spears for hunting. Other players don't have the same luck. It's going to be great to poke a fish with. The bag gives them tetanus. Shay was quite pleased with that. If we can find more steel. I can even forge a knife myself. Dude, you want to go next door to the knife contest. Eva's been sitting here for 4 or 5 hours. I haven't seen any fish coming. If you have to starve on your birthday, well, that's really sad. In fact, I change the bait every day. Try out various fishing spots. I don't know why the effect is so small. Being hungry all the time isn't an option. What else do you think we can eat around here? Except to warm up by the fire. There really isn't anything left to do. This is probably the worst birthday I've ever had. If we don't catch any fish in the next few days, I have no choice but to give up the challenge. You can't keep abusing your stomach like this every day. Maybe going home is the right thing to do. The challenge continues on the 17th day. Eva really liked the view. It's the stomach that's always there urging. She felt powerless to placate, other than calling to quit the challenge. I can't think of any way to change the situation. If I can catch a fish, I don't have to go home so early. I wonder how many people dropped out of the challenge. I hope it's not the first. She's here to demonstrate her wilderness survival skills, not to push the limits of human starvation. There's only one thought on my mind. Get her back to dinner quickly. I don't want to feel hungry again. Get all the lost fat back. This is the life you want to live. I wonder how long this class will last. I think I've been doing pretty well for 17 days. About the same time, pack up and leave. Only come for the challenge. I realize how precious food is. I can finally go back and hug my family. With Eva gone, there are 8 players left on the court. Most of the players are still hungry. Now there's a storm coming. Some of these shelters can't handle it anymore, where they were busy making repairs. Others come to the shore to enjoy themselves. She doesn't believe the wind can blow people away. They say the bigger the storm, the bigger the fish. Musa has no intention of going fishing. Just lay there and watch the outside. I didn't eat for almost 10 days. I'm a little worried that my body won't be able to handle it. Tom is too cold to get up. It was hard to wait until the sun came out. Want to hold on to the end. In addition to having a steady diet, we still have to get the shelter door out. Fortunately, there are more materials around. Pretty soon figured out how to make it, huh? I'm going to collect more bark for weaving. The tree can still grow normally when this outer layer is removed. The problem is only one hand works. It takes more time and energy to process. The bark looks just like paper. Try to be completely peeled off for use. Because this hand hasn't had any friends since he was a kid. I'm only happy when I'm out in the wild. Tom wanted to show it on camera. Even one hand can live just fine. Don't complain about the misfortunes of life. It should be faced with a positive attitude. You can do that with one hand. So don't give up. There's still a lot to work on. The door to the shelter is secured. Food has been a problem. Got to get something to eat. He didn't think he could win the challenge by starving himself. It's almost dark. Tom also lit the fire. I'm just curious. Aren't you afraid to light the shelter on fire? It's going to be hard to put out if it burns. He didn't think it was a problem, as long as it warms up the shelter. The challenge continued on day 18. Colleen's knee felt very uncomfortable. Long time without food supplement, plus the feeling of something coming at night. Never slept more than 4 hours. My head is groggy now. He didn't work with any energy. I keep making mistakes in my fishing nets. All she can think about right now is how to get food. There are actually wallabies around. That's definitely enough meat to feed yourself. Colleen's just having a hard time mentally. Didn't really want to take a shot at the wallabies. Let's hope we catch some fish when we're done with the gill net. Boy, you know that little kangaroo. I could have eaten it last week on a shoestring. I'd be the first to set up a trap. What's more important than getting your stomach full? Colleen said she didn't want to catch the wallaby. We're already working on a trap. How do we do it? To fight is to touch the organ. The wood on top of it can be smashed. The idea is good. You don't know where the prey is. Check the neighborhood for any fresh signs and find a good place to set up a trap. Soon she spotted the wallaby's tracks. The marks on the ground are very clear. It must have been there recently. Immediately found a spot to set the trap. She used a net to catch. As soon as it gets inside the net and triggers the switch, it will be folded up immediately. As long as they're not too big, I'm sure they can hold up. Colleen didn't actually set a trap. I learned it all by watching videos. Success depends on luck. Try touching it and see what happens. Harder to use than I thought. You have to make adjustments as you go along. It took a long time to succeed. Colleen suddenly felt fine again, just waiting for the wallaby to come over here. For now, we're pinning our hopes on the trap. Kelly's not short of food at the moment. Thought I'd spend more time at the shelter. You catch fish the first few days. While the belly is stocked, do as much work as you can to make your life better. These clay balls are the key to perfecting the fireplace. Fill in as many gaps as possible. There's plenty of room inside. There's no problem putting fish in for smoking. Kelly doesn't know how many contestants are left. I'm sure no one will be more comfortable than her. If this fish can be smoked successfully, food stress can be reduced a lot. The plan is to get a fish by the stream every day. It's half smoked and half eaten. What if nothing happens? It won't take many more months. The fireplace is almost finished. You can clean it up and cook it. There's no problem with the flame burning in there. The pan just fits on top. She felt she was over the worst. It's only going to get better. The fish is really fragrant when heated. Kelly can eat this every day and never get tired of it. I just miss my family a little. I wonder how they're doing now. If only we could be together here. The prize money is really important to her. Looking for a bigger house. Let the family have a comfortable environment. According to the current situation, Kelly has a real chance of making it to the end. Day 19 of the challenge. Ben still hasn't got any food. I'm starting to doubt my fishing skills. How come he didn't catch a little fish? For now, the shelter is a little more secure. Don't worry about being woken up by the cold wind. As long as it's not a big storm, I'm sure I can handle it. Ben thinks the reason he can't catch a fish must be the bait wasn't attractive enough. Plan to spend more time looking for bait today and see if it's up to my taste. It's just a broken shovel. More or less will affect the work efficiency. Fortunately, it's easy to replace. Just take out the bad parts and then continue to repair and install. A brand new shovel in no time. The body is a little weak though, but the mental state is okay. As long as we can keep it up until we get food, I still have a chance to make it to the end. All that matters now is digging up a bunch of bait. There's still a lot of untouched space around here. I hope it surprises me later. Just as I was about to leave, the shovel broke. Looks like we're going to have to keep working on it. Kelly's the only one who's doing well so far. A hiccup smells like fish. No food worries. Just in time to clean up your stuff. You should also pay attention to personal hygiene in the wild. The slightest hiccup here will affect the challenge. Keep it as clean as possible, and it will make you feel better. Already looking forward to what you're going to catch. I thought everything was going to be okay, but the color of that urine is not good. I'm afraid there's something wrong with my body. All I can do now is drink more water. I hope it's not an infection down there. I have never been in such a situation. For safety's sake, I decided to get the doctor to see me. If I'm told to go home because of this, I was really hard to accept. Tom was already very weak on the other side. Apart from continuing to fish, it's like there's really no way to get food. I'm hungry for the first time in my life. He had a thought that things would go wrong, but I didn't expect it to be this hard. The fish around don't know where to go. Might as well eat the bait yourself. At least the body gets some energy. Worst of all, it rained. It's going to be harder to catch fish. I suddenly noticed that a thread was taut. Are we finally going to get some food? Tom's been here a long time to finally see meat. The mood is so excited, and not a small one. Enough to feed himself, have the confidence to keep going. Kelly is anxiously waiting for the doctor to check on her. She's not sure she's out for it. You know, there's a lot of fish in the shelter. It's a shame to leave like this. The doctor finally got to Kelly. After a brief inquiry and examination, talked to the staff without saying anything. Do you think Kelly can keep up the challenge? Let's wait and see. High-end ingredients do not require extra seasonings. Just by its own fragrance, it can conquer the taste buds. No wonder so many people would run to the wild to survive. Just want to have a taste. How about the all-natural and additive-free deliciousness? Among them, the one that is most worth trying for everyone. It must be this fried worm. It is said that the protein is several times that of beef. Is there any friend who wants to have a try? The challenge has reached the 19th day. There are still 8 people remaining on the field. Kelly called the doctor over for a physical examination. The initial judgment is that it should be an infection. She isn't ready to quit yet. Now it all depends on how the doctor and the director discuss it. The process of waiting was extremely irritating. The doctor said that apart from the following infections, there's also a problem with the kidney part during the examination. It seems that Kelly is going to be dissuaded. Soon the doctor came to a conclusion. Infection here is very difficult to heal by itself. It needs to be sent to the hospital for further treatment. Kelly heard the news. The heart that had been in suspense was finally dead. Mingming was just about to take off and live a good life. I never expected to be eliminated due to infection. Forcibly terminated to continue the challenge. All I feel is discomfort. Is there no need to stay any longer? Hurry up and pack your things to go home. Judging from the fish that Kelly caught recently, 19 days is not her limit. There won't be any problem staying for another month. However, survival in the wild is so full of surprises. No one can guarantee that everything will go smoothly. I hope I can go to the hospital for treatment as soon as possible. Then go home and have a good reunion with your wife. I just don't know if there will be another chance to challenge in the future. Kelly's departure is a good thing for the other contestants. That's one step closer to winning the bonus. Let's take a look again at how Shay is doing here. Life isn't very good either. The fleas on his body made him feel uncomfortable all over. However, there are also some valuable proteins. Put everything in your mouth as long as it can be swallowed. The taste is just like small shrimps. Shay thought it was still acceptable. Records are made on the trees every day. Every day is really not easy. At present, the most worrying issue is still the food problem. If one only lives on insects, it's only possible to stay for another week at most. I didn't know before that I could go hungry so much. Now all hopes are pinned on the trap. If a kangaroo could be caught, I could laugh myself awake even in my dreams. There are quite a lot of animal droppings nearby. To be honest, one should have meat to eat. Unfortunately, there is nothing over there in the trap. First, let's see what the camera is capturing. Why is it so hard to eat meat? In fact, there were still some animals passing by. They have even gone in for a stroll. It just didn't trigger the trap capture. However, it has already left a mark inside. There will definitely be more inspections coming later. The trap needs to be adjusted. Make the mechanism easier to trigger. Shay tried it inside. There are quite a few areas that need to be upgraded. No one knows how much physical strength this huge project will consume again. Say, there is plenty of food here before the challenge starts. The problems don't even come from one's own stomach. It's really uncomfortable to just watch. I have no idea how many players are left now. If they could have quit the challenge earlier, I'll use the bonus to treat everyone to a meal when the time comes. Life here is really too hard. Know to come and take part in the challenge. But there is no extra income to speak of. It is a great economic pressure for families. Shay's usual job is to deal with possums. I'm not very rich, but very happy. I can fill my stomach with things from the wild every day. They are all pure natural and additive-free delicacies. There's a great need for bonuses to make life better. Turn the pressure into motivation and keep working hard, as long as there can be a little victory, even if it's just a small fish. I'm also confident that I can persevere. Yonka is much more laid back. I still have the mood to artistically process wood, rather than carving it into a cup. It feels better to make it into a trumpet. It's also a good idea to take it back as a souvenir then. I have been here for so long myself. It's really necessary to do all kinds of things every day. So much energy is consumed, but I just eat some plants to survive. She doesn't know what this is called either. It tastes a little like cucumbers. The sweet feeling is not bad. However, it's very difficult to persist just by relying on these. It's better to get some meat to eat. Just fishing has no effect. The water level is still rising continuously now. The fishing rod needs to be placed at a higher position. I'm a little worried that it will rise to the shelter. If possible, I really don't want to stay in the water. It was so cold that her scalp went numb. The weather will only get worse and worse later. I'm a little worried that my body won't be able to hold on. After waking up, Carla was ready to go to the trap. If it weren't for getting eels to eat before, I couldn't have persisted until now by myself. Unfortunately, luck didn't last all the time. No more food was obtained later. The traces of the baby kangaroo have long been discovered. The trap was there for several days. It just doesn't want to come in and have a look. It's warm in winter and cool in summer inside. It's definitely a great place to settle down. I plan to spend more time improving it next. At present, the most commonly eaten food is vegetation. When you are lucky, you can even dig up some bracken to eat. But how could these sustain the body? Sure enough, one still has to rely on traps. Look at the camera. What is this recording? What Carla didn't expect was, this thing only records what just happened. Good grief. Could it be that it's messed up? Even if you come to take part in the challenge, you still have to pay extra. I can't accept such a thing myself. Let's deal with the trap first. At present, there are some problems when it is triggered. It is very difficult to keep the prey completely inside. Carla has been making adjustments and attempts there. I felt a little better after using the upper umbrella rope. But the effect of this method has never satisfied me. There's no way around it. We can only spend more time on recuperation. The wind is blowing stronger and stronger now. The temperature has dropped by several degrees again. That's it for today. She's going back to the shelter to have a good rest. The challenge has reached the 20th day. Ben is in a good mental state here. The temperature dropped sharply last night. I was so cold that I was shivering with cold. Today, apart from looking for food, I still have to collect more firewood for you. My head is all groggy now. Don't think that you only stayed for 20 days. It feels like I've been working overtime continuously for several months. If a time could be set for this challenge, it can feel a little more comfortable to some extent. A lot of food is urgently needed to soothe the stomach. It's really deepening my understanding of hunger every day. It's hard to imagine those contestants who can persist for hundreds of days. Even if one can fill their stomach every day, it can be extremely uncomfortable to be alone at night. Ben thought of many ways of fishing. I plan to have a look with the brightly colored umbrella rope first. Hope to attract the fish visually. What follows is a long wait. The more I look at it, the more uncomfortable I feel. Have no idea at all when you'll be sitting. I really miss the fried chicken and hamburgers at home. Tell the children how amazing they were when they were young. At that time, my rugby skills were of professional level. Even won the MVP in the finals. A highlight scene like this. There really aren't many times in life. I hope to show myself well in front of the camera. Set a good example for the children. It said so, but it's really too difficult here, isn't it? I really want to ask the program team if they can lower the difficulty a bit. I originally thought I would go hungry again today. I didn't expect there to be any movement over the fishing line. Rush over immediately to see if there are any surprises. The fishing line on the other side tightened up. Ben knew that a fish had taken the bait. It's not the time to be happy yet. The fish must be brought to the shore first. Pull the fishing line carefully and slowly. He would want a mouth fish to run away. The more I pulled, the more I felt something was wrong. Why did they suddenly give up struggling over there? When the fishing line is retracted, the most worrying thing still happened. Not only did the fish break free and leave, but it also pulled the hook away. It's really too outrageous. Ben felt the deep malice towards him here. Perhaps one should try their luck in another place. Otherwise, my stomach will keep rumbling there. My mood hasn't improved much either. I really want to give up the challenge and go home. How would you handle it if it were you? Anyway, I could only rearrange the fishing line, then continue to sit there and wait for the fish to bite. My little head is about to explode. I really don't understand why I just can't get any meat. Actually, there's no need to be so anxious. There will always be a chance to get something to eat. Look at the food over there in Musa. He even said he was about to throw up from eating. It's small grilled fish every day, and there is not a single seasoning on it. How happy I was when I ate before. How uncomfortable it is to eat right now. It really has to be forced into the mouth to be swallowed. Such a Versailles speech. If the other contestants can hear, this can't be rushed to have a good physical exchange. It was mainly the rain that affected Musa. Trapped in the shelter, one either eats or sleeps. How could there be a chance to get new food outside? Think about the first day when I came here. The water level is not as high as it is now. It has risen a bit exaggeratedly. Sooner or later, this place is likely to be submerged. I won't be able to leave this place by myself. The most annoying thing is that the fish schools will approach the deep water area. I don't even know if I can get any fish to eat next. Mazana was getting more and more irritable. So take advantage of the light rain to explore the nearby area and have a look. In fact, the hoarded food is enough for this week. I just want to obtain more. First, let's see if we can catch fish by the coast. It was so cold that my hands were almost frozen stiff. The snow line in the distance is getting lower and lower. Hope it won't snow before the challenge ends. The water level shows no intention of dropping. You should know that there will be more rainfall next month. My situation is really bad. Surely someone will say that just moving house will do. If he had that much strength, nor would I be so distressed. When I watched others face challenges before, I think it's about creating a show effect and stealing the spotlight. It was only realized when it was one's turn. It's really not something that ordinary people can stay in. At this time of year, I miss my family very much. I really want to know if they're doing well. It would be great if the program team could have a family version challenge. It will surely be much more wonderful than living alone in the wilderness. I'm quite glad to see some movement on the fishing line. I just didn't expect to get entangled. Fortunately, Musa didn't use too much force at the very beginning. Otherwise, this fish would have no chance to come ashore and breathe fresh air. The size can only be described as average. But if you eat sparingly, it's enough for yourself to eat for several days. The most crucial point among them is, uneaten internal organs can be used as bait. I believe there will always be a chance to catch big fish to eat. First, hang it in the camp for smoking. I don't know if it's because I've been hungry for too long. Carla began to have nausea and retching. I increasingly feel unable to continue the challenge. I really want to know what my family members are doing. Look at her sad expression. It feels like we can call the program team in advance. Hardly had he finished speaking when he began to vomit again. There wasn't much stock in my stomach to begin with. It's all vomited out now. At the beginning, I was just uncomfortable eating grass. I've been eating a bit too much fern recently. If that causes problems with the body, is there really no food to eat nearby? Holding the mobile phone, I'm also torn about whether to give up or not. Now it's even hard to swallow water. If it were me, I would have called the program team over long ago. There's really no need to torture oneself for the bonus. She also knows that other players are stronger. Just by that little fat on the belly, it is very difficult to maintain body temperature at night. A conservative estimate suggests that I have lost nearly 20 pounds. Even if there's a pile of food to eat in front of you now, I couldn't eat it myself either. Carla has lost all her motivation completely. It's only a matter of time before you give up the challenge and go home. Shay is also lacking in food supplements. The mental state has become increasingly trance-like. I don't even know how I made it this far. Every day is very tormenting. There's really an urge to go home immediately. One can't sit like this any longer. Get up immediately and go to the jungle to dig for insects to eat. Don't be fooled by its tiny size. Whether it is for fishing or for personal consumption, those are all very valuable proteins. Go to work on an empty stomach every day. Sooner or later, the body will be a little starving. For now, we can only put the worms on and fry them. It's enough to smell a little meat aroma. It's a pity that no opossum nests were found nearby. Otherwise, the freedom to barbecue would have been achieved long ago. It is said that these proteins are several times that of beef. I hope my body can hold on. Colleen is staying in the camp, thinking while carving. At present, the food is slightly inferior. Sometimes when I see leeches, I just want to have a taste. It's too small to even be qualified as bait. There are still quite a few places nearby that haven't been explored. Most of my time was spent looking for bait. Only by catching fish can the situation be changed. The traces of animals nearby here are very obvious. Look at this fresh feces. She guessed it wouldn't exceed 3 hours. Set a trap here. There's really a good chance to get some meat to eat. It's a pity that I'm not very good at setting traps. It can only be captured by using a net. If it happens to come here and trigger, we will be able to have a meal of meat tomorrow. It's quite beautiful to think about, although it is said that eating too much fern is not good for the body. But if I don't eat now, I'm sure I'll faint from hunger. In order to be able to keep challenging, even if there is something wrong with this fern, I still have to keep eating it. After nightfall, the completed shelter will be presented here. Now, except for the inability to access the internet with electricity, there is no problem at all living in it. It is very suitable for couples to come and seek thrills. It can be said to be a dream room for survival in the wild. Fish schools are more active at night. Let's see if there will be any gains from using a copy net. It's exactly the same as I expected. As soon as the net was put in, something bit the hook. Ben brought the eel up immediately. Perhaps I was too excited and almost fainted. After being hungry for so many days, I can finally fill my stomach. It would be more delicious if it weren't roasted. I really want to swallow it raw right on the spot. Take it back immediately and do some simple processing. In fact, it's not very difficult. Just make a cut and it can be pulled out smoothly. I originally thought he would roast and eat it immediately. I never expected that after finishing it, I would just hang it up and not eat it. It's really a tough person to endure until dawn on an empty stomach. The challenge has reached the 21st day. The current temperature is not very high. Wait until the sun is completely out before taking action. Usually, I don't even light a fire myself. Heat is generated entirely by shaking the legs. Now reignite the cooked eel to eat. This is definitely the most fragrant eel Ben has ever smelled. He plans so much every time. It's fine as long as it can barely maintain the body. He put the eel meat upside down into his mouth. This look of intoxication. I have been completely conquered by eel meat. Melting in the mouth, this is the power of life. It seems as if the eel is dancing between the teeth. Colleen is in great need of food supplementation now. She tried all kinds of methods but failed. Now all hopes are pinned on traps. Good news, this thing works. The bad news is that the prey is gone. Follow the trace immediately. All the other traps were triggered and destroyed. Look at this tuft of kangaroo hair. Colleen seemed to see the barbecue waving. Walk around in circles looking for prey. It was suddenly discovered that it was inside the bushes. Do you all think she can get food smoothly? Let's wait and see. So this is such a big eel. In the eyes of a master, it's just an appetizer. Trout are not of high status either. Just fall to the ground. They really don't show any face at all. If you want to eat, you must have the local specialties. For example, this smoked and grilled kangaroo. Just by looking at this handling method, you can tell it's not simple. The liver doesn't need to be boiled and can be eaten directly. The juice inside bursts instantly. Of course, it will be more delicious after being cooked. Kangaroo meat paired with vegetables is simply amazing. I'm just curious about how smoked kangaroo meat tastes. The challenge has reached the 21st day. There are still 7 people remaining on the field. Colleen had a surprise as soon as she woke up. The little kangaroo is trapped in a trap. This really excited myself to death. Hurry up and find a big stone to invite it to the dining table party. The size of a palm is actually about the same. Move slowly towards it. Strive for a one-shot kill. The little kangaroo hasn't reacted yet. She has already been killed by Colleen. At least prove that the trap is useful. She hasn't eaten meat for a long time. So excited that I don't know what to say. It's really not easy to survive here. Thinking back to the time when I was so hungry that I doubted my life. Tears couldn't help but flow down from the corners of the mouth. This protein is in great need now. I usually like to eat kangaroo meat at home. The taste is somewhat similar to beef. It's a masterpiece to grill after marinating. While the little kangaroo is still hot, hurry up and clean it up. You've been here for so long and haven't found any dangerous animals yet. Dismemberment was carried out just near the camp. It shouldn't attract anything, will it? She didn't expect to catch kangaroos. I originally thought I would make a living by fishing. Maybe it's fate. I dare not say anything else. At least staying for a month is no problem. Now let's all learn how to deal with kangaroos. It would be best to hang it up for convenient cutting. Start rowing all the way from the hole in the bottom. Try to keep the fur as much as possible. It can be used as a blanket with a little processing. Before, I always dealt with the big kangaroo at home by myself. This tiny one is really very easy. In no time, he said it was done. Colleen intends to cut it into thin strips. It will be convenient to smoke it for storage at that time. Put the bones, internal organs, and fat meat in the pot. Reward yourself with kangaroo broth later. Not even the fat on the fur was spared. We'll search it down slowly then. Hunters in the past liked to eat livers raw. It is said to taste particularly delicious. I'm really too hungry. I don't want to wait until it's cooked back before eating. Just cut it into pieces and have a taste. The smell is extremely fishy. Colleen felt no longer hungry in an instant. It's better to have it roasted and eaten. Yonko was waiting on the shore for the fish to take the bait. Although this place is said to have beautiful scenery and is suitable for vacation. But the problem is that we can't catch fish to eat. The energy obtained solely from plants is limited. Thinking of looking for more bait in the jungle. Prepare more fishing lines for fishing. She didn't believe that not a single one could be caught like this. Explore the surrounding environment while doing so, while enjoying the fragrance of nature. It's a pity that my stomach keeps rumbling. Should all good moods be halved? However, this nectar is truly sweet to the heart. She was a little curious. Why did I enter the jungle as soon as I did? It feels as if all the animals around have vanished. Not even a few insects were caught. Looking at the earthworm wriggling in my hand, I really wanted to just put it in my mouth. Yonka finally held back and didn't eat, firmly believing that by taking a chance, one can turn a bicycle into a motorcycle. Come to the shore and pray. Hope this can help me get food. Immediately after that, the fishing line was thrown into the water. I myself have forgotten how many traps were set up nearby. Anyway, you can see it every time you walk a certain distance. Perhaps she wants to finish all the fishing lines. If no fish are caught here, perhaps it's really time to consider going home. Come and take on the challenge when you are in menopause. Lack of nutrition does great harm to the body. It is particularly prone to osteoporosis. This period of time can be described as a difficult time for women. Yonka never expected that fishing would be so difficult. In the past, having hands was really enough. Now the function is sitting there waiting to take the bait, even if one sees eels approaching. But I just look down upon the bait. I really don't know what to do. It's impossible for me to dive down and catch fish by myself. What other ways are there to change it, after all? The situation on Carla's side is not good either. I didn't feel well after eating some ferns a while ago. It leads to having no energy to go out. I dare not put wild fiddlehead ferns in my mouth anymore. My mouth is still a little numb now. The mental state is not very good either. Can the challenge really be accomplished in this way? Even if one has to give up the challenge and go home. Must you deal with the kangaroo trap no matter what? If you can catch it, just stew it to eat. I can turn the tables on my own. The trap is still the same as the last time I saw it. The door part is rather heavy and not suitable. This needs to be disassembled and adjusted. Look at the camera before you start working. Last time I saw kangaroos strolling over. This time it was found that its head was even stuck in. I originally thought it was the door handle that got stuck. I never expected to sneak in the next second. Good grief. We were supposed to have meat today. It was that door that cost me the delicious food. At least it proves that the kangaroo is willing to go in. Remove the door and replace it with fern leaves. In this way, it won't be due to wait. This leads to problems in triggering the trap. She is confident that she can catch kangaroos. I'll cook a whole pot of stewed meat for everyone when I wake up tomorrow. Also try to go in and trigger the trap. I almost got stuck in a trap myself. No matter how smart this kangaroo is, it won't open the door with its backhand, will it? Everyone is just waiting to see her start eating tomorrow. The kangaroo meat on Colleen's side is already being smoked. There were waves of fragrance emanating from inside. I'm afraid I'll be drooling at midnight because of this. She was still thinking of drying them all into dried meat. Then have some planned meals every day. This way, one is sure to stay until the later stage. The internal organs stewed in the pot have been cooked. It does smell much more fragrant. Just take a big gulp and put in your mouth. There are also vegetables mixed inside. This big pot stew is made very delicious. Not a single piece of salt was put in it. It all depends on the inherent freshness of the ingredients. That's just right for her. This is the life I truly want to live. By the way, think about what to do with the bonus. The challenge has reached the 22nd day. Musa woke up and found that the temperature had dropped quite a lot. Even thin ice has appeared on the shore. This is completely different from my own plan. The cold-resistant version hasn't been ready yet. The success rate of fishing is even lower now. The only advantage is that there's a natural refrigerator to play with. Play and have fun. Don't forget the purpose of this trip. Musa observed the water level. It has decreased significantly compared with before. If this continues, the trap won't be able to catch fish. Now the fishing line needs to be rearranged. Hope it can be thrown to the deep water area to catch fish. Although I've been here for almost a month, but the surrounding area was not explored completely. The main reason is that most of the energy is devoted to foraging. Fortunately, I caught quite a few fish before. Look at the size. Each one is better than the last. Eating sparingly is enough for him to eat for 2 weeks. If it were me, I'm afraid I wouldn't be able to bear it. Once you get it, you'll swallow it raw. Musa firmly believes that he is sure to catch more. There is nothing to do now either. It is planned to build a small early warning system. Make sure to deal with the prey as soon as it arrives. The line extends all the way outside, as long as there is any movement. Pulling over there will knock off the pot lid. I will definitely wake up smoothly by myself. It's particularly easy to have random thoughts when alone at night. Recalling the days spent with family. Eat and drink while together every day. The more I think about it here, the more uncomfortable I feel. For this wilderness survival challenge, I've already missed a lot of things. But if one can win the bonus, then he can do what he likes. There is no need to be forced by the family to inherit the farm anymore. Good grief. Such troubles. No need. You can donate it to me. Musa was missing his family beside the fire. The mood is getting lower and lower. Suddenly the alarm went off. Go over there immediately and see what's going on. I haven't even figured out what's going on yet. The next second, Musa rushed forward to supplement. I originally thought I would be hungry these days. Unexpectedly, a snake came in time. Sure enough, there are abundant food resources here. I am confident that I can persist until the end. The challenge has reached the 23rd day. The trap set by Yonko in front was of no use. This time, a new kind of trap was replaced. Once the eel gets in, it can't get out. The nearby shallow water area is very suitable. The contestants need to shoot videos by themselves. The position of the bracket needs to be adjusted every time. Yonko will be annoyed to death by this sooner or later. No wonder they didn't come out to decorate until noon. I really want the program team to arrange a photographer. It's really troublesome to adjust the angle there every day. It seriously affects the pace of my survival challenges in the wild. The finished product layout was quite good. I just don't know if there are any eels coming. No edible food was found nearby. It seems that I have to go hungry again today. My stomach also began to ache faintly. I couldn't hold back my emotions and burst into tears. Colleen's side made it for the dried kangaroo meat, transferred to the beach for processing. A conservative estimate suggests that it will take more than 4 days of smoking. I'm in an extremely good mood now. Even show the dance in front of the camera. Sure enough, when there is plenty of food, people will be happier. Happy times are always so short. The work should be finished before dark. Go to the beach over there to collect firewood. I originally thought that good days were coming. I never expected that a little weasel would come to the camp to steal food. Colleen was thinking that it was all meat inside. It shouldn't be here to eat meat, can it? Go back to the camp immediately and have a check. I didn't expect it to be so bold. dare to sneak in alone and steal meat to eat. Things have to be hidden in the future. Look, that bag of weasels still dares to come here. It's really hard to guard against. After nightfall, it goes online on time to eat the strong meat. Not at all afraid of the commotion made by Colleen. He was so angry that he just threw the shoes over directly. It was only then that the mangle was driven out. It's not certain whether it will come again tonight. Anyway, I just can't fall asleep. I was worried all night that the mangle would make a comeback. The challenge has reached the 23rd day. Shay felt that he had messed up. There simply isn't enough food to eat. Deal with plants and worms every day. The energy obtained is pitifully little. This fern has become numb to eating. He is wondering if it is necessary for him to carry on. I didn't feel any hope at all. The body is so tired that it doesn't want to move. The worst thing is that the stomach and intestines have discomfort at night. One can't even swallow water. I was nauseous and retching there all night. The already weak body became even worse. Shay, you're not here to survive in the wild at all. It's simply training the ability to starve. Carla has stayed for 24 days. Fishing is as simple as drinking water. Such a big eel is enough to fill one's stomach. I was so excited just now that I didn't even put on my pants. It's necessary to show it well now. I'm very satisfied with the length of the eel. It's simply the length of the dream in my heart. Deal with this clean immediately. High-end ingredients often only require the simplest cooking. A little frying is already delicious enough. The grease on top is as smooth as cream. These are the foods you should eat for survival in the wild. I have also been to various places for adventures. Come into contact with all kinds of interesting things. It was quite a happy time at that time. Whereas life as uncomfortable as here. I just love going outside to explore too much. This leads to a very short time spent with family. If one can win this bonus, I will definitely spend more time with my family. Before coming to challenge, I thought living alone in the wilderness was very cool. It's really only after experiencing it. Only then will one understand how uncomfortable the feeling of loneliness is. I wonder how the family is doing now. It seems that Shay is having the worst time at present. One needs to go to the shore to catch fish under the cover of night. Generally speaking, nighttime operations are definitely not recommended. But the stomach was really extremely hungry. If one continues to retch and feel nauseous, the body surely can't hold on. So when there's a chance to catch fish, one should seize it well. I never expected to rely only on that light above my head. It is also possible to catch a trout smoothly. The whole person was so excited that they were on the verge of crying. Look at this big piece. There must still be some goods in it. Shay firmly believes that he will catch bigger and better fish in the future. I'm afraid I'll be so excited tonight that I can't sleep all night. The challenge has reached the 26th day. Yonka didn't check the trap after waking up. Instead, I sat there enjoying the sunshine. It's a loss of motivation for challenges. Just want to give up quietly. She doesn't quite understand. Why have various methods been tried? It's just that no food is willing to be delivered to the door. Yonka just lay there and didn't want to move. To my surprise, she hung up all her clothes after having a good rest. Sitting there, I don't know what you were thinking about. The challenge has reached the 27th day. Shay was finally able to have trout meat. Thinking of showing off in front of the camera. I never expected to fall to the ground like this. Such precious protein mustn't be wasted. Even if it gets stained with soil, it should be eaten. If one can be caught every day later, be confident of taking on this challenge. After all, he is professional in starving. The challenge has reached the 31st day. Yonka was already in a bad mood. There's a problem with the photography stand again. She doesn't want to torture herself like this any longer. It was enough to stay in the wild for last month. I'm still always distracted by the camera. Hunger and unease have been whispering in the ears. In the end, I still couldn't resist. Pick up the phone and call the program team over. The program team was quite satisfied with Yonka's performance. After all, one can stay in the wild for a month. Ordinary people don't have such courage. I wonder who will be the first to take it and quit. Let's wait and see together. Some people are worried that kangaroos have too much meat. If you have stewed meat every day, you will eventually get tired of it. Look, There is still a bag of dried meat as a snack here. I'm just curious about what this tastes like. Anyway, it must be very delicious. Otherwise, how could even the Marquits come here to look for food? Some people are so hungry that they can only dig the soil. It's quite satisfying to be able to get a piece of sashimi with earthworms. More people rely on drinking water to satisfy their hunger. Why are there so many differences between them? Let's see together what's going on. The challenge has reached the 31 day. There are still 6 people persisting. Ben is extremely hungry now. He didn't expect that he could endure so much. It is slimmer compared with when it first arrived. In the past, there was still flesh on the legs that could sway. They have all fallen into it now. Facts have proved that if you want to lose weight, come to live alone in the wilderness. Make sure you can control your mouth. Any gain of just 1 pound is a provocation to the program team. It looks very bony when viewed from the side. He had never seen such eye-catching ribs before. I don't know how much to eat back to make up for it. Except when I was just born. It should be the lightest time now. It could be said that it was entirely supported by willpower. Force your stomach to close and keep silent. But how long can such a life last? The temperature outside is getting lower and lower. It can't be resisted by wearing all the clothes. Only feel a little warmer when working. The food that can be found is the worms in the soil. Although the protein is several times that of beef, but still couldn't fill one's stomach. I stood up too fast and felt a little dizzy. I'm really afraid that I'll just fall to the ground next time. Ben is feeling very bad now. The program team asked the contestants to sign in at regular intervals. If I faint myself, I'll miss it. I'm afraid it will be sent directly to the hospital. He doesn't want to be eliminated so soon. One should think more about annoying things by oneself. See if it can raise the blood pressure a little. Carla was in a particularly good mood. Even when there's a strong wind, I feel comfortable. How about going and having a look at the kangaroo trap? Even if you catch a small one, you could be happy all day long. I have lived alone here for a month. That was something I didn't even dare to imagine before. I spent a lot of time fishing yesterday. Not even a small fish was caught. The body is getting weaker and weaker. I guess I won't be able to hold on any longer in a few days. Sure enough, those who can come to participate are all tough people. If it were me, I wouldn't want to stay for a single day. Carla also quite wants to explore farther places. My body really can't take it anymore. Just come and check the traps every day. I just exhausted myself to the point of exhaustion. It was as empty as imagined. I just don't know if any ingredients pass by here. After watching the camera, my heart was broken. They have no interest in the trap at all. It's really a waste of effort to do this. It's still drizzling now. Carla is even less likely to go out looking for food. Trapped in the camp, there was nothing but hunger. My mood was extremely depressed. It feels like there's no chance to hold on until the end. It can also kill time when there are things to do ahead. Now my mind is filled with the thought of going home. She has mentally prepared herself to give up. It all depends on whether this fishing will succeed in the end. Judging from Carla's condition, it seems there's no chance of a comeback. Tom became even more astonishingly thin. Plus, my physical condition is already inferior to others. It's already very impressive to have persisted until now. Make sure your body is dry every day. Otherwise, once frostbite occurs, it won't recover well. I didn't pay attention to the ground conditions when choosing the campsite. It has led to being in a muddy state all the time now. If the rain were any heavier, the pond would shrink. Putting a few fish in it is estimated that one could fish in it. Only that corner is dry. A great deal of time is spent dealing with accumulated water. I really want to move and relocate to another place. Now I don't even have the mood to go out and explore. The fingers were already shivering with cold. I wonder if everyone can tell. As the temperature gets lower and lower, the body just couldn't bear it. I'm most worried that there might be something wrong with the broken hand. Tiny cracks have already appeared. It would be great if there could be some lubricant. Hurry up and take out the lighter to make a fire for warmth. A negative mindset is detrimental to challenges. Tom needs some small, successful changes. As long as one can maintain a positive attitude, even if one is hungry, one has the confidence to complete the challenge. Good grief. Can one go hungry like this? One can laugh even when hungry. I guess there's still some stock in my stomach. If you go hungry for a few more days, things will probably be different. The fire hasn't even been lit now. It would be strange if I were in a good mood. The main reason is that it's too humid here. There will be a chance only when the sky clears up. If I bring last month, I'm afraid rheumatism will come. I really miss the comfortable environment at home. The one who is doing the best at present is Colleen. After all, catch a kangaroo to eat. I can have some meat every day. The little days are simply wonderful. If only some flour could be stirred in here. Just thinking about how delicious it will be. Unlike others who are still worrying about food. Her main concern is how to become more delicious. It would be even better if it could be combined with others. If you haven't tasted kangaroo meat yet, welcome to have a taste. I guarantee to think of seeing it on the dining table every day. Colleen intends to finish the meat in the pot. Boil the bones inside again. Oils and fats are particularly important for survival in the wild. The body needs this nourishment to obtain energy. She also dried and stored some of the meat. Have a planned little every day. There should be no need to worry about going hungry this month. Judging from the current situation, Colleen's chances of winning are very high, unless other players can also catch kangaroos. Otherwise, I really want to win the prize money by starving myself. And she didn't give up because of this. Explore around as soon as you have free time. Striving is to obtain more food to eat, even if it rains every day later. There is no need to worry about going hungry either. Another advantage of Colleen is I don't dislike the feeling of loneliness. Most of the time, I live by myself. So living alone in the wilderness suits her very well. The only problem now is some animals have set their sights on their dried meat. It also bit a big hole in the bag. If the marquets dare to come again, Colleen doesn't mind stockpiling more meat to eat. It's better not to come at night. She really needs a beautiful dream. Just as the marquet was mentioned, it appeared, swagger towards the dried meat. Good grief. You really take this place as your home. Is it a place where it can come and go whenever it wants? Colleen was so angry that she rushed forward immediately. The weasel has begun to enjoy its delicious food. I originally thought I was quite wealthy. Now it steals the house like this. At least half of the meat was bitten and ineatable. Keep going at this pace. She is afraid that she will soon fall into hunger. Do you know how to store food in survival in the wild? Of course, it should be put in the stomach. Colleen really regrets not doing this earlier. One can only turn grief and anger into appetite. Eat more dried meat into your stomach. The rest should be carried with you. It's impossible for the marquets to succeed again. The challenge has reached the 32nd day. Musa is in relatively good condition. I just want to know how many players are left. Although I really want to finish the challenge quickly. But it seems that everyone is quite powerful. It's estimated that it will have to endure for another month. Thinking like this makes me feel extremely bad. There's only a little food left now. If there are no new gains in these 2 days, I have to go back to the days of hunger again. It's the first time to stay alone in the wild for such a long time. Talking to oneself in front of the camera every day. I wonder what everyone thinks. Anyway, Musa just couldn't stand it. An eel is urgently needed to change the current situation. Try to have a look as far away as possible. Compare with when I first arrived, the lake water has risen a lot. I'm afraid there won't be many chances to come here later. I'm worried that I might get trapped here without paying attention. Musa wanted to dig up more bugs to use as bait. This is sure to consume a lot of energy. If there is nothing, I'm afraid I'll burst into tears on the spot. Just dig and dig like this. He has no idea what's going on underground either. Anyway, just keep digging like this. Fortunately, the big baby is still here. Musa was a little reluctant to use it as bait. It's also fine to stuff it directly into the mouth. Theoretically, one can be found out. There are sure to be more surprises waiting around. Sure enough, the most important thing for a family is to be neat and tidy. Musa really likes these. It would be even better if it could be exchanged for eels. One can also go further in the face of challenges. Tom was extremely worried over there. The temperature is getting colder day by day. My body can't take it anymore. Perhaps one should consider whether to go home or not. Once a person has the thought of giving up, that is very difficult to get rid of. Staying in the shelter will only lead to wild thoughts. It's necessary to take a walk outside. It would be best to find food to eat, by the way. When alone outside, I always think of the happy times with my family. I miss my own children very much. I don't know how much taller I have grown now. I usually take him for a walk in the wild. Explore all kinds of interesting things. Tom's own job is the study of the wild environment. Know the food situation better than other contestants. He knows there are bears here. Hunting bears is definitely impossible. But if bear dung is found, perhaps some special fungi can be found. These have very high nutritional value. It will be particularly delicious to take it back to make soup. My mood improved after getting the food. Sit there and enjoy the beautiful scenery. However, I want to keep on challenging myself. One still has to find a way to get more food to eat. At least a few big eels should be served to satisfy the craving first. Shay quite wanted to catch fish to eat with his spear. Since there is no food to hunt for during the day, then go out and have a look at night. It's impossible that nothing will happen sooner or later. Even a little fish is happy by itself. He hasn't eaten anything for several days. A conservative estimate suggests that I have lost over 10 pounds. Now I walk lightly, although the light is better during the day. But few animals are active. Is there no difference even after dark? I'm afraid I'll go hungry again tonight. Keep shooting down with the light in hand. I just found a small fish wandering in the water. Shay could only control the spear with one hand and throw it over. There was no surprise at all. I said I would be hungry tonight, so I'm hungry. There isn't much fat on the belly. It means that the day of going home is drawing near. When Shay doubted his life, suddenly, a sound was heard from the tree. Hurry over to see what it is. On closer inspection, it turned out that spring had arrived. One of them is already too tired to walk. It's really heart-wrenching to look at. Go up immediately and follow to help. Shay knew that it wanted to rest at the dining table. Everyone is so tired that they don't want to walk. Seeing people, they still hopped away. This would chill one's own burning heart. It's all the fault of the program team for not providing bows and arrows. Otherwise, he could shoot through this area. The challenge has reached the 33rd day. Shay went to look for the Kangaroo brothers when he woke up. It's so cold. How comfortable it is to come to the campsite to warm up by the fire. Make sure it smells good all over. Become the most mature cub in the jungle. Collect firewood while observing the surroundings. Are animals really not very active during the day? I'm going to weave a capture net. Not only can fish be caught then, it can also cover the prey. It's simply an essential survival tool in the wild. It's so impressive. Why did it come out earlier? Shay said that everything was under control. He just wants to practice his ability to starve more. Look at this net. Isn't it simple? Just give it a little more time and it will be done. It doesn't affect catching food at all. This net will be worth millions of dollars once it is set up. It is sure to help oneself win the game in the final moments. I'll have to take it back and show it off then. The challenge has reached the 34th day. Every time Carla is unhappy, she takes out a photo of her sister. Those who can hold back their laughter are really amazing. It's really too abstract. The younger sister is about to become a local celebrity in an instant. Carla was very happy looking at the photo. I'd rather go back and visit my sister than take on challenges. There's really no need to go on. I really want to call the program team right away, but it still feels a bit of a pity, although I made quite a few mistakes in this challenge. But overall, it's already very good. How many people can stay here for enough months? I really want to invite my family members to come and have a look. The process of thinking is also quite torturous. Keep recalling what you have done for the challenge. Repeat similar things every day. Just collecting firewood is already extremely exhausting. The stomach was still growling with hunger. I don't know how long I can hold on either. Perhaps wait until all the firewood is burned out. It's probably time for me to go home, too. Ben wasn't idle at night, either. There is no food to eat during the day. I can only come out to look for it at night. Lack of food supplementation. The whole person was extremely listless. Even if just one cockroach comes now, I'm afraid I could even taste the flavor of a steak myself. If one day I can't resist gnawing at the bark. He is afraid that he has had hallucinations due to hunger. It would be great if the program team could send kangaroos. Even leftover bones are fine. Just smelling the aroma of meat can perk oneself up. It was bad enough to be hungry originally. I still accidentally trip over the tree roots now. The knee made a close contact with the ground. Fortunately, the trousers were worn relatively thick. It could be slightly buffering. However, the pain was still somewhat unbearable. Let's call a night. Hope my knees will be better when I wake up tomorrow. I don't want to be forced to withdraw from the competition due to injury or illness. I really can't accept such an ending. The challenge has reached the 35th day. Carla woke up in a bad mood. I was thinking all night about whether to continue. In the end, I still chose to give up the challenge. Now I just want to go home early to be with my family. I don't know if there is any food on the ship. The stomach was growling excitedly. This time, I challenged myself and made quite a few breakthroughs. I don't know how many players are still there. Anyway, it's impossible that I was the first one to leave. Carla is going back to enjoy a big meal. Share this challenge well with your family. I'll try to persuade my own sister to come over next time. Experience how extreme it is to lose weight by starving. As Kara withdrew from the challenge by boat, only half of the people remained on the field. Ben also seemed a little inclined to leave. I tripped and fell on my knee last night. It still hurts a little now. He dared not take off his trousers to check. What if it's too serious? One can only ignore the signals coming from the knees. Hope to get better after a few days of rest. Most of the stomach is filled with cold water. He wants to try to make a fire with a bow drill. On the one hand, it is to show off one's strength. On the other hand, they're looking for things to do when they are bored. It doesn't matter whether it can succeed or not. Anyway, as long as you enjoy it yourself, that's fine. Keep applying pressure downward. Slowly increase the speed and pull the bowstring here. Smoke will soon be seen coming out, until ashes appear. I originally thought it would be done very quickly. I didn't expect it to be even more difficult than I imagined. It was not until it got dark that a piece of ash was obtained. Only in this way could the fire be barely lit. Why don't we just use the igniter again, so as not to wear oneself out? I have no idea what will be sent next. Let's wait and see together. The contestant aimed to win $500,000. That is constantly forcing oneself to eat food, so miserable that one could only drool over the bait. Of course, there are also some differences among them. Look at others who are eating meat every meal. There's even so much that it needs to be smoked and stored. It was extremely delicious and is particularly good at planning food. Don't throw away the leftover bones. Spit it onto the surface and continue frying and grilling. Another delicious dish. The little days are simply wonderful. Let's see where the gap between the rich and the poor comes from. The challenge has reached the 36th day. Only 5 people remain on the field. Colleen felt much better looking at the sunshine outside. Finally, I can wash the marinated clothes. She collected some leaves around and put them in the water. These smell good. By the way, sterilize the clothes. Personal hygiene should also be paid attention to in the wild, although I have become accustomed to the stench. But the skin always feels like something is moving. It can be cleaned once a month. Colleen felt extremely happy. While the clothes are drying, take a bath in the water. The cool feeling is really nice. If it weren't for the weather not allowing it, it's not bad to come and swim in the water every day. Lie on the rock and enjoy the sunshine. Those who don't know might think it's for a vacation. Among all the contestants, she is quite good. I've always maintained a positive attitude. Plus, there's food to fill the stomach. Keep going at this pace. There's a good chance to stay here until the end. I just miss my family a little. Friends who enjoy watching wilderness survival challenges all know. Most of the contestants who miss home. Later on, they will all give up because they can't bear the loneliness. I wonder if Colleen is the same. Musa caught eels to eat last night, but it doesn't seem very happy. In fact, the main reason is that it is too small in size. The energy obtained hasn't been consumed much yet. It feels more practical to sleep lying down. The fat on the body is getting less and less. If you want to succeed, you have to work hard. The stockpiled firewood has almost been consumed. I still have to go out and collect some later. During the tidying up process, it seemed that the sound of a mangle could be heard. Mazana began to search immediately. Seriously, I thought he was doing some mischief. Why haven't I found a single hair after flipping through it all? Anyway, there were still animals present. Perhaps traps can be set up directly nearby. The stomach is growling with hunger. Fry and grill the remaining fish bones in the pan. This is already his last food. Not even the bones were spared. It seems that just a little bit of flavor is enough. You can add some water to boil it then, no matter how life is going. Musa remained elegant at the dining table all the time. I prepared a place to store food by myself long ago. Problems have no chance to fill this up. I still overestimated the food resources here too much. Hope the program team can be more attentive next time. At least go to a place where you can go fishing. I would be satisfied if I could have a fish to eat every day. After having this meal, he is estimated to be able to hold out for a week. The prerequisite is to lie in the shelter for a long time. Can the problem really be done like this? It would be better to just go home. Shay hardly slept all night. The stomach has been dancing there all the time. I'm really messing myself up. Still so energetic despite going hungry every day. I seriously suspect where he stole the food. The feeling of loneliness is more uncomfortable than hunger. I used to think that the contestants were being overly sentimental for missing home. It was only my turn to understand. Staying outside for a long time does make one miss home. I wonder where they enjoy their food and drink. Shay also wanted to go along and have a bite. Make sure this is homesickness. But aren't you thinking about the food at home? I used to play with children at this time. Camping will take place in the jungle. If you want to eat something, just take the truth out. I'm very grateful for my wife's support for coming to take part in the challenge. It's very difficult to take the first step without her. The more I think about it, the sadder I get. Although I really want to go back and hug my wife immediately, but it's still better to bring the bonus. There will be more time to spend with family then. What's wrong with just looking at the gill net when having porridge or meals? He still hopes to catch more fish. Try to fill your stomach as much as possible. I'm worried that the weather will change too quickly later. I don't even have a chance to go out and look for food myself. Although there are also kangaroos lurking nearby. But he doesn't think the chance of success is high. It's better to sit here, drink water, and enjoy the scenery. I hope the fish here can show some respect. Come here and rest on the gill net for a while. Give them a hot bath by yourself then. Make sure each one is rosy and has a good complexion. It's just that the waiting time was a bit long. Suddenly, it seems that some noise was heard. Could there really be some fish coming for a stroll? Shay, did you go up right away to see what was going on? He couldn't believe himself a little. A nervous heart and trembling hands. Lift the gill net slowly. Good grief. There really came a fish to show some respect. It looks quite nice in size. It's definitely no problem to fill one's stomach. If the gill net could keep working. It is not necessary for big fish to come every day. It would be enough if I could have one every few days. He is confident that he can get the bonus. Poor Tom can only eat some flying insects. Everything I eat now tastes like beef. It would be great if it could replenish some energy. The body is getting weaker and weaker. It's been at least more than 10 days since I last ate meat. I insist on going fishing every day. An unprecedented feeling of hunger. Although this hand is not as good as that of other players. However, multiple additional tools can be used for assistance. I don't think I'm worse than others. Judging from the current situation, at least one big fish should be eaten every day. I'm having good luck today. It was soon discovered that a fish had taken the bait. It's not very big in size. It was successfully grasped with just one hand. Is having food better than having nothing at all? It's been too long since I last smelled the aroma of cooked meat. I was almost moved to tears. None of the juice on top can be missed. Put them all in your mouth and savor them carefully. Even the bones need to be crushed and chewed. This trout is enough for me to stay for several days. Control the feeling of missing home. Stay here for as many days as possible. I don't know how many players are left. Advise them to go home early and stop suffering. Musa thought so too. For these few taels of silver, it caused problems with the stomach and intestines. It's really not worth it. Unlike him who likes to endure hardships when he gets old. To be honest, the contestants of this session are all quite capable of going hungry. I strive for food every day. Musa tried to set traps to take a chance. I originally thought it would take a long time to be effective like this. I never expected to feel the movement of the fishing line in the middle of the night. Rush over immediately and catch the eel. This time the size is much better. It took me quite a lot of effort to get it. The good days are finally coming. First, pour out the water inside the shoes. Then enjoy this eel carefully. I'm afraid it's as long as my arm. Just wait for dawn to cook and eat it now. The challenge has reached the 37th day. For the first time, Musa was so looking forward to dawn. Hurry up and clean up the eels. If it weren't for the fear of getting a bad stomach, he really wants to try sashimi. How about that? Peeling is a technical job. If not handled properly, it will affect the taste. Cut the meat slice by slice. Put it on a shelf for smoking. The remaining scraps are fried in the pot. No seasonings were put in. It all depends on the inherent freshness of the ingredients themselves. Even so, putting it in the mouth is a treat. It's been a long time since I felt this comfortable. The eel meat over there is smoked well. I can eat by myself for several more days. Conservatively estimated, There won't be any problem with this last month. And Tom is in a good mood here, too. After eating trout, I felt full of strength. I still have muscles after staying in the wild for so long. He is indeed somewhat talented and starving. It's truly a blessing to have flesh in one's stomach. Just as I stepped out of the door, I saw the bird trap triggered. Good grief. Could there be meat to eat again? It's a pity that it was just an accidental touch. There isn't anything inside. Hurry up and replay the camera. It turned out that it was the bag of weasels that came for a stroll. It's just a little bit short. If a larger trap is used instead, I have long achieved the freedom of barbecuing by myself. The weasel quite likes to come and play. It can make oneself cry with craving. This trap should be fine with a little operation. Get up again first. I'll upgrade this thing when I have time. It is hoped that the Markwits can come in after the improvement. This body is very weak. If it weren't for catching quite a few fish to eat before, I myself couldn't have persisted until now. They were all caught during night activities. I thought life would get better. I never expected to see any fish again after that, except for some plants and insects. I can no longer find suitable food to eat. Most of the time was devoted to the shelter. If you just look at the camp, it is definitely the most perfect among the contestants. It is completely suitable for a family to come for a vacation. It's just that the food can't keep up with the consumption. It leads to oneself becoming weaker day by day. I feel dizzy now and don't want to do anything. Based on years of watching survival videos in the wild, it should not have lasted long. He is already struggling with whether to go home or not. It's really tough to come here for the challenge, tormenting oneself with hunger and cold every day. I'm really afraid of sending someone away one day. I thought I could hold on a little longer. He thought he was so uncomfortable. The other contestants won't be much better either. The more you stay up for one day, the closer you are to the bonus. It's said that way, but judging from his condition, he's about to go home. The challenge has reached the 39th day. Mazana's ankle began to hurt for no reason. It seems that we haven't collided with anything either. One can only stop and slow down. I just ate meat before. It shouldn't be caused by insufficient nutrition, right? It feels a bit like a gout relapse after eating too much seafood. In severe cases, one can't even stand steadily. The situation is really too bad. If the program team finds out, they will surely persuade people to leave. It seems that there is one more contestant going home. Enduring the discomfort, I return to the camp to rest. Even at home, take care of your health. It's also possible to get 1 or 2 acute gout attacks. Unexpectedly, I happen to encounter a challenge. I just don't know if I can get the bonus before the explosion. It's so difficult to even take off shoes now. Judging from the situation, it is undoubtedly gout. No matter how hard you try, there should be no way out. Look, it's swollen up a big circle. It's impossible to recover naturally with the current state. The program team will come for a physical examination next time. It's probably the day when he comes home. It's a pity for those eel meats. Now he dares not eat it for fear of aggravating his condition. The challenge has reached its 40th day. Shay was trying to change his fate by using a barb net. However, it's very difficult to squat down to catch the fish when it rains. As time goes by, I become even less patient. The opportunities left for him to go hungry are increasing. I originally thought that all those fish would stay away. Suddenly, I found myself jumping out of the water. It's near the fish hook. It seems there is still quite a chance. Take off your clothes and go into the water to have a look. I have a premonition that I caught it. The water is very cold now. We have to go to the fire with the cuttlefish later. The deeper you go, the stronger the feeling becomes. On closer inspection, it turned out that the fish was stuck there. It's really not easy to catch such a big one. The whole person was extremely happy. Facts have proved that the good days are really coming. Even on rainy days, food can be harvested. The challenge doesn't seem so difficult either. Unlike Ben, who is still struggling to survive there, rather than just coming to take on the challenge. He felt more like he was being abused. I really want to find someone to give me a hug. I've never felt so uncomfortable in my life. I don't know what to do now either. Just want to know how the other contestants are doing. It should be about the same as myself, right? Ben tried hard to get more food back, but the effect is not very good. Come to a familiar place to fish and have a look. There's only such a little bait left. It feels better to eat it as sashimi. In the end, Ben was also a little hesitant. How wonderful it would be if we could catch big fish. His eyes were red like those of a gambler. So all went into the water. Can this really help him change the situation? Muse's foot didn't turn at all. It looks even more swollen than before. It can no longer work properly. Although worried that eating eel would aggravate the condition. But not eating would be a waste of food. After much deliberation, I still decided to satisfy my taste buds. After all, today is the day for the program team's physical examination. If you don't eat it now, you might never have the chance to eat it. Wait quietly for the program team to come. The other contestants have been well prepared long ago. Although Ben has little flesh left on his body. But I think I'm in great shape. I'm sure I can keep going. It just looks strong and vigorous. It is full of power inside. There's no problem at all when doing bench press. I'm not worried about any problems during the physical examination. It's impossible to dissuade someone, is it? However, the reality is that Ben has serious physical problems. It is no longer suitable to continue the challenge. For the safety of the contestants, the doctor suggested sending the patient to the hospital for further examination. Ben is in a very low mood now. Hope the director can give a chance. He doesn't want to give up the challenge just like this. The previous days were all in vain. After the discussion of the program team, it's better to decide to send it to the hospital. This means that this challenge has failed. This might be the news that no player wants to hear, no matter how much Ben talks. The program team has not changed their minds. Just like this, another contestant left the challenge. Sure enough, one still needs to stockpile more fat before coming back. Otherwise, the weight will drop too much. The program team could only send him home. Since Ben has been forcibly eliminated, then Musa looks even more odd. Do you all think he will be persuaded to leave? Let's wait and see together. How cruel is true survival in the wilderness? In order to fill one's stomach, the contestants change careers one after another to become fishing experts. The fish caught in this is not a fish. Rather, it is the desire for bonuses. Just as everyone was worried about not having enough to eat this meal, some people have achieved food freedom in advance. Look how fragrant this pot of stew is. Perhaps it doesn't feel much when viewed through the screen, but the weasel next door was really starving. She sneaked in and stole food many times despite the danger. Will the meat delivered to your door be missed? The challenge has reached its 40th day. Mazana doesn't feel well. I'm very worried about the upcoming inspection. I've been praying it's not gout, but no one can survive this situation, can they? The medical team has arrived. Mazana was very nervous. If we just quit the challenge like this, it's hard for me to accept that. The doctor examined Musa's condition first. It hurts just by taking off the shoes. This is even worse than imagined. It needs to be discussed with the director team. The process of waiting is very torturous. He doesn't want to quit the challenge just like this. The doctor's suggestion here is to go to the hospital for a checkup. It is very likely suppurative arthritis. If one insists on taking on the challenge, Musa should pay more attention to his physical condition. If symptoms such as fever and dizziness occur, inform the doctor immediately, although it is possible to continue the challenge. But Musa did not breathe a sigh of relief. Unless all the other contestants have gone home these days. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for oneself to win the bonus. Originally, Colleen was quite leisurely doing handicrafts. Suddenly, the little fellow came to provoke. She was so angry that she rushed forward to drive it away. I think about the food in the camp every day. It feels like traps should be set up for defense. It would be fine if it were just about eating meat. It can also bite clothes and the like. No one expected to run back again. They didn't take Colleen seriously at all. Pick up the gloves and throw them directly over. In fact, there's no need to be so irritable. It's also nice to have something to keep you company in the wild. It should be invited to the dining table for a chat. Colleen is in good condition at present. There's a great hope of overcoming the challenge. The prerequisite is that there should be no problem with the weather here. She is confident of enduring for several more months. It is once a person becomes quiet, many things from the past will be recalled. At that time, it was because the husband was unwilling to have children. The two thus lived separately. This was a very big blow to oneself. She really wants to have a child to keep her company, rather than living alone as it is now. These things can't be rushed. It's best to win the bonus first to achieve financial freedom. The challenge has reached the 41st day. Shay was in a rather low mood. I worry about food every day. Plus, there's been no bowel movement for several days. It places a very heavy burden on the stomach and intestines. Is it not strange to have any problems with your body now? He doesn't want to be eliminated because of too much excrement. It was really embarrassing to go back then. At present, the source of food still relies on catching fish. Secondly, it is to look for fruits to eat in the wild. The kangaroo trap has been placed for some time, although there were animals passing by. But just don't want to come in and have a look. Good grief, there isn't any bait inside. I also wanted the kangaroo to crawl in and deliver food. This is really too difficult for it. As usual, the trap was not triggered. Take a look at the place camera. In fact, there were wallabies coming in for a stroll. The problem is that it didn't touch the mechanism. Shay felt even more uncomfortable. If only I had known, I wouldn't have watched this wonderful replay. Does the trap still have to be further optimized and upgraded? It feels like a trap should be made. Readjust the trigger mechanism. If one accidentally touches the door by oneself, it also takes him a lot of physical strength to lift it up. These words had just been said. It can give oneself a fright. It still needs to be lifted and rearranged now. I'm really going to wear myself out. Do you really want to ignore everything? Just lie there and give up like this. I hope the animals nearby can pity me. Send more meat on top. I really don't want to make any further adjustments to the trap. It would be best to have meat to eat. If all else fails, just keep going hungry. Good grief. He scored twice directly. The body was extremely tired. How about sleeping here at night? Tom didn't stay in the shelter at night. He still likes to look for food at night. It would be best to catch another eel. It's been several days since I last ate meat. Once the mind is idle, one dreams of food. I wish I could give myself a bite on the arm. The water level has shown an upward trend recently. Is it not a good thing for survival in the wild? There's something wandering in the water. It's also a good idea to catch this and use it as bait. Suddenly, the sounds of animals were heard. Tom followed the sound to search. I did see the spider on the tree. He doesn't know what kind of animal it is either. It looks a little dangerous. I don't know either that I can solve it smoothly. Shine the light over. On closer inspection, isn't that a wallaby? Try to imitate the sound and hook over. Watch the wallabies and keep them firmly in place. Get up immediately and go around and have a try. Look, this size is quite nice. There are no weapons for the injured. It would be best to be able to pinch the neck directly. It's a pity that the person ran away before reaching the food. I can't keep up at all. It's really a pity. I almost had grilled skewers tomorrow. My mood is really bad now. The challenge has reached the 42nd day. Muse's foot is much better now. At least one can walk without turning. Everything is developing in a good direction. The fire is still quite perfect here. There's hardly any need to worry about getting wet from the rain. The most terrifying thing now is the rise of the water level. If there are a few more heavy rainstorms, it is not strange to submerge the shelter. After all, it has almost risen to the root of the tree. Moving house now is too exhausting. Fish schools may also migrate to other places. These double troubles can be extremely annoying. He could only bet that the water level wouldn't reach the shelter. Only in this way can there be a chance to persist until the end. If the camp is really to be relocated, I feel that I have no chance to win the bonus. First, go nearby to see if there is any open space. In fact, as long as the food keeps up, it's fine to work a little harder on your own. Muse didn't go far either. I already feel a little dizzy and uncomfortable. That's the state. Are you sure the move can proceed smoothly? I don't think it's very likely. Sooner or later, one will starve oneself to problems. He is already 63 years old, unlike young people who can go hungry as easily. This is no longer something that can be solved by willpower. Don't forget that there is arthritis in the feet. But as long as the situation worsens a little, even if I want to keep going, the doctor will also force him to withdraw from the challenge. Surely no one is worse than him. No suitable place was seen nearby. It feels like everything will be submerged. If it's possible to explore deeper into the jungle, it takes a long walk to go fishing every day. It is a big test for the body. Now, I really can just stay as long as I can. Colleen is going to have a look deep in the jungle today. Expand the diversity of food. Otherwise, relying solely on fishing is still a bit one-sided. Wild fruit seen by the roadside mustn't be missed. These can supplement the nutrients needed by the body. It's just a little less. But it feels quite good to look for food while eating. Try to make as many different things as possible. It's extremely hot to go out and explore. Colleen adopted a strategy of traveling light. Try to go as deep inside as possible. There will be much more resources here. Ferns like them are quite good. Collect more to make soup and eat. She knows most of the plants here. As long as there is no poison that can be swallowed, it's fine. Fill a pot directly and cook it in the fire until done. If one doesn't catch the kangaroo, I'm afraid she won't be able to hold on until now. The meat and bracken are stewed together. It smells quite nice. And didn't forget to add some bay leaves to it. Colleen is living such a good life. It doesn't seem at all like taking part in a wilderness survival challenge. It's more like coming for a camping vacation. The only concern now is the delay of the menstrual period. This situation is not common for oneself. I hope it won't affect fertility. Let's enjoy some delicious food first. It has been stewed perfectly. It would be more perfect to put some noodles in it. Take a big mouthful and put in your mouth. The aroma of ferns combined with gravy. The whole person was so fragrant and hazy. The challenge has reached the 43rd day. Tom is extremely haggard. It feels like one might fall down at any moment. It also walks with twists and turns. The cold weather not only affects the body, it also causes great problems for prosthetic limbs. Not as flexible as usual. If this goes on for a long time, frostbite will occur. This really worries me to death. Just got to look for resources. It consumes a large part of energy. I was supposed to have a chance to catch a kangaroo to eat last night. It's a pity that there are no suitable tools in hand. Otherwise, taking it down can boost morale a lot. Now one still has to be engaged in felling and collecting firewood. Just by looking at it, one can tell how tired the body is. In order to make the prosthetic limb warmer, it was deliberately wrapped in socks. But it's very uncomfortable to rub too much inside. Basically, the front side has become numb. Only in this way can there be some sensation when massaging. The situation is not very optimistic. It's very likely frostbite. Originally, it was more difficult for him to come and take on the challenge than for others. Now we encounter such a situation again. It's really a case of one more day in danger. It's very likely that I haven't said I'm quitting yet. The people from the program team came over to dissuade them. The best thing is to reduce the use of prosthetic limbs. Allow your hands to move more to promote blood circulation. Hopefully, this can change the situation. I have felt inferior because of this hand since childhood, but there's a group of kind friends encouraging oneself. He gradually let it go as well. It's just a hand. It is completely capable of living like a normal person. Hasn't he also stayed in the wild for more than a month? It is sufficient to prove how excellent one is. Never be afraid to try. Believe that efforts will surely bring about changes. I gulped down a bowl of chicken soup on myself. There's an effect, but the problem is that the body becomes even more exhausted. Today, no matter what, we have to set up the trap. Although Tom has been working very hard, but it is very difficult to fix the trap with one hand. He doesn't know how to handle it either. We can only give up the rest for the time being. For the first time in the challenge, he wanted to give up so much. I really want to go home and lie down to rest for a while. Shay is not in good form either. The body is getting thinner day by day. Not as healthy as when I first arrived. Feces accumulate in the intestines for a long time. It is very likely to cause problems. One must find a way to relieve the stress. We can only see if we can get fish here. The fishing line has just been put into the water not long ago. Just look at the way a fish sets off. It feels as if it's coming to deliver meat. This made oneself extremely happy. Pick up the pole quickly and check it. It was indeed caught as imagined, struggling constantly in the water. Shay was worried that the fish would break free and leave. The pole can only be moved slowly to the shore. It's really not easy. Such a big fish hasn't been seen for a long time. If I could have one every day, I believe I will live a better life. When handling it, no resources are wasted at all. He will rely on this fish to hold on for a while longer. The fish roe inside is as delicious as an egg. I feel much better now. It's just that the problem of chronic constipation remains unsolved. The more food one eats, the more uncomfortable the body will be. I don't know what nearby can help me. Rather than worrying about problems with the stomach and intestines, it's better to fill your stomach first. Perhaps it will be fine to finish all these. In fact, there's another solution right in front of us. That is to perform an enema for forced release. This might make the body worse, unless it is absolutely necessary. I was just unwilling to try. Then fill this bottle with water and stuff it into the hole. Theoretically, it should be achievable. It's a bit of a test for the muscle groups below. Have some meat first to replenish energy. Hope your health will get better. It's getting more and more difficult to stay here. Whether it is the change of the environment, it's still the body's endurance. He couldn't even guarantee that he could hold on. If only the other contestants could leave earlier. Tom came to the shore and wanted to catch a fish. The more, the better. Bait was specially prepared for this purpose. I held back my words. Hope all the fish around come and have a taste. Try to swing the hook farther away. At present, everyone is not doing well. Whoever can eat more will be closer to the bonus. I was originally thinking about what to do with the Air Force today. I didn't expect a fish to take the bait so soon. The size is much smaller than imagined. No matter how strong its will to survive it is of no use. Still controlled by Tom. Anyway, is it good to have meat to eat? It seemed that it was getting late. Hurry back and clean up the fish. Take a look from this angle. In fact, the size is much better now. It will also be very delicious if roasted over the fire. If not, come and take part in the challenge. He quite wants to take a stroll around. It's also a good choice for a family to come for a vacation. The cooked fish is still so delicious. I don't know how to describe the taste. I'm really moved to tears. The main reason is to come here and starve for a few days. I'm sure you'll find the soles of your shoes fragrant even when dipped in sauce. How long can such days last? The challenge has reached the 44th day. Colleen was the last female contestant. Her performance was quite good, whether it's food or shelter. They are all in better condition than other contestants. It is the delay of menstruation that causes headaches. When she was trying her best to calm herself down, that little fellow has come to play again. The worst thing is not knowing where it has gone. In fact, others had sneaked away long ago. Sooner or later, I'll be driven crazy by it. Come here every day to steal food. But as long as there's less grain in one's own stock, it's going to be slaughtered by itself. Colleen thought there weren't many remaining players. It is estimated that the challenge will end in about 60 days. The bonus is very attractive, but one will not bet on one's own health, especially in terms of fertility. She prefers to be a mother rather than a bonus. My period won't come in a few days. We can only call a doctor to come and have a look. The longer one stays, the greater the risk. Hope is only caused by anxiety. Looking at it this way, it's really hard to say who the champion is. Everyone has some problems, coupled with the continuous deterioration of the environment. Music couldn't even guarantee that he could survive. Keep observing the water level outside. What if it floods up in the middle of the night? The challenge has reached the 45th day. Bad weather meets bad health. The contestants' moods also became low accordingly. On the one hand, there is concern that the schools of fish will disappear. If you were told that such a big eel was caught, it's of no use at all for winning the bonus. Surely no one will believe it. But look at these neatly arranged dried fish. Can it be comparable to that eel? And look at the fat on this body. It's obvious at a glance that one can go hungry very much. Let's all guess how long they can hold on. The challenge has reached the 46th day. Only 4 people remain on the field. Colleen is in a good mood now. Not long ago, my period finally came. I don't have to be so anxious anymore. It's really not easy for female players to survive in the wild. Worry that it won't come. I'm afraid of the pain for several days. So I have been able to persist until now. It is worthy of recognition in terms of strength. Doing some yoga is helpful for relaxing the body. Friends who sit in front of the computer every day, you can follow and learn. It is particularly effective for the neck spine. Perhaps everyone can't tell. The wind outside is still quite strong. It just has no effect on the shelter. I'm very satisfied with this. It shouldn't be difficult to live there for a long time. The only concern is the situation on the other side of the lake. The water level has risen quite a lot recently. I can't catch fish as before. Fortunately, the shelter was built at a higher place. Otherwise, one won't have the strength to move. Other contestants are also facing the same problem. According to one's own situation, I'm sure I can endure for a few more days than them. Next, it depends on whether new food resources can be found. Colleen has quite a chance of winning the bonus. Shay is much more worried. The lake water is rising too fast. There isn't even a place to set up fishing rods. It might be that no fish can be caught later. One has to be prepared for long-term hunger. He didn't expect it to rise so fast. If I had known earlier, I would have built the shelter higher. The thunder can still be heard now. The situation is getting worse and worse. I guess we can only pray that others leave quickly. Shay doesn't intend to waste energy moving house. He will strive to stockpile more food. Hold on until the lake floods the shelter. If the water level really rises, just give up the challenge and go home to be done. Anyway, I have mentally prepared for the worst. This fishing rod has just been put down not long ago. Then eels rushed over to provoke. What do you say? Show how to tease humans. Then it was dragged up in the next second. This should be the largest eel seen so far. Shay suddenly felt that moving house wasn't impossible. Anyway, as long as the source of food is stable. Everything is fine. Look at this size. It's really enviable. Pack it up and take it back immediately. Just as I was about to sit and rest for a while, it began to rain again. The weather changes so repeatedly. Shay is very eager to know how many people are left. Life now really has no hope. Just maintaining the fire is extremely exhausting. At any time, there's an extinguishing that can cause hypothermia. The most terrifying thing is to lose consciousness and not wait for the doctor to come. This is really not a place for human beings to stay. On Tom's side, there's a lot of water accumulation around the camp. It has seriously affected his challenge. In addition, the amount of food obtained is not sufficient. The body is getting weaker day by day. Nevertheless, I still insist on going out to look for food every day. The water level is rising too fast. Fishing is not possible. How about only having a look over there at the trap? No accidents occurred. The trap is still the same as before. There's only one fish left in the inventory now. After eating, one has to go hungry again. I really want to end the challenge and go home, but still want to break through the limit. Stay here for as many days as possible. It's just that the accumulated water in the shelter has always been a problem. Sooner or later, it will seep into the shelter. Tom thinks this is still a little small. It feels just like a cage. Lying inside is very depressing. If I can win the bonus myself, it can make the family live a better life. There are few such opportunities to make a lot of money. It's not the case that one can hold on just because they have strong willpower now. It is necessary to obtain enough food. Otherwise, the weight keeps decreasing. Doctors will all come and carry the person away. This can be regarded as the worst result. It's safe and sound again. It's time for the physical examination. Every contestant is very worried about this. Tom waited quietly for the doctor to come. My health is getting worse day by day. From the inspection, the values are all within the normal range. It's just that one has lost too much weight. It has already affected the normal challenges. The doctor suggested giving up the challenge and going back to recuperate, unless enough food can be obtained here. Otherwise, my body might not last until the next physical examination. Tom knows that the situation is not optimistic, but still, I want to keep going with all my efforts. The doctor didn't advise much either. Anyway, remember to call him if something goes wrong. Tom was in a very low mood. I feel that I'm getting further and further away from the bonus. He can't think of how to obtain food steadily. I'm afraid I'll be discouraged at the next physical examination. The other contestants should be about the same. If they could have quit the challenge earlier, I still have a little chance to hold on until the end. I wonder how my family members are doing now. I really miss the roast turkey on the dining table. How long has it been since I last had a proper meal? It would be nice if they could come and chat with me. Living alone for a long time, my heart was brutally suppressed by loneliness. It seems that the ship tickets can be booked in advance to go home. Musa is very averse to rain. The water level rose so much overnight. If you want to flood the shelter, come quickly. Don't be overly anxious if the price rises a little every day. It's estimated to be just 1 or 2 heavy rains. If we don't move, it will really be all over. So no matter how hard it is, one has to move and leave. Is he determined to win that bonus no matter what? The new place is not very far. One day is definitely enough for the move. Just walk back and forth like this. It really wears people out. I really want to go back and ask myself, why are you so lazy? Wouldn't it be better to build the shelter higher? I still accidentally cut my hand now. The wound wasn't as serious as imagined. It's probably fine to just lick your saliva. Anyway, let's get the shelter ready first. It's still similar to the original structure. The space will be slightly smaller. My family members were quite supportive of my coming to take on the challenge. Even if I don't take the bonus home in the end, they won't complain that he doesn't work hard enough. Nevertheless, Music still wanted to hold on a little longer. He is really very close to the bonus. As long as the shelter is properly dealt with, one can stay for a while by relying on the stored grain. During the process of moving, I also got a hand injury and had a minor accident. It went quite smoothly at other times. The body also remains in a healthy state. He still has quite a chance to challenge for the championship. The shelter has largely been dealt with. Now it's time to light the fire. Although the environment is rather humid now, but it did not affect Muse's performance. Light the fire easily. Muse couldn't help cheering. It's really not easy to persist until now. If the water level rises more slowly, one will live a more comfortable life. When you have time, you should optimize and upgrade the shelter. Shay was extremely annoyed by the sound of the waves outside at night. I'm very afraid of suddenly flooding into the shelter. If the sleeping bag gets wet, this challenge can be declared over directly. I'm afraid I won't be able to sleep tonight. It would be more reassuring to go outside and have a look. The water level is changing really too fast. If there's a heavy rain, he probably doesn't even have a place to stand, unless moving to a higher place away from the lake. Otherwise, one can only wait to go home. Shay decided to act at dawn. One can no longer be influenced by this thing. The challenge has reached the 47th day. The situation on Shay's side is not good. The lake water is almost submerged to the shelter. We can't wait like this any longer. He doesn't want to quit the challenge so early. Still decided to move to a higher place. This is a big test for physical strength. Just pulling down a section of trees is extremely tiring. Building a shelter with local materials is even more exhausting, unless he chooses to give up the challenge and go home. Otherwise, we can only continue doing this. The tent frame made this time is better. Just bring the tarpaulins and those over for decoration. I believe I will be able to check in smoothly soon. Shay felt that he still had some chance. The only problem is that the bushes are too damp. A high bed must be kept away. He doesn't want to go back and get a rheumatic leg. It's a pity that the kangaroo trap is going to be dismantled. In fact, we didn't catch it this way. Everyone should know what's going on by now. There must be baby kangaroos. Even came to the trap many times to provoke. Shay has lost confidence in this. It would be better to contribute the remaining energy to make the shelter better. Now the problem comes again. Where should we get the food next? It feels like there is no suitable place. Anyway, Shay just wants to fix the bed first, then lie there and have a rest for a while. Tom has been thinking about how to turn the situation around. The situation near the shelter is not optimistic. If you stay here any longer, you will surely rush into the lake. He has thought about encountering all kinds of difficulties. Only the rise in water level was unexpected. How did it end up like this? I've been torn for a long time about whether to go home or not. He has also tried hard, but failure always runs through life. Tom finally decided to give up the challenge. This might be my best choice. The program team has already received a call and is going there. Tom felt that there must be some regrets, but it doesn't affect the hope for this place. Hope to bring family members here next time. I have nothing to say to the director team myself. Anyway, my body just can't take it anymore. Wait until the next time the doctor comes for a physical examination. The weight will only decrease more. Rather than being persuaded to leave at that time, it's better to eliminate oneself. Tom has been able to hold on until now. It's already very impressive. If it were just an ordinary person coming to participate, it would be good if I could get through a week. As Tom quit the challenge and went home. Only 3 people remain on the field now. It's really hard to say who can win the bonus. Musa moved in advance to avoid the danger of being submerged. It's just that I'm a little worried when the stored grain runs out. I originally thought that Shay would be better after moving. I didn't expect it to be so bad. The surroundings were all wet with the rain. Lying on it is cold and uncomfortable. Perhaps only Colleen could laugh. The waterproof effect of the shelter is particularly good. No matter how heavy the rain is, it won't affect the inside. As the temperature keeps dropping, one can feel that winter is getting closer and closer. The challenge has reached its 53rd day. Musa thinks people with brain problems. That's why camping is such a bad environment. I feel like I'm obsessed with money. Working so hard for the bonus. How long has it been since I last had a good meal? The stomach has been growling with hunger all the time, but one can only go out to look for food when the weather clears up. Colleen slept very comfortably. I wish the rain could fall more fiercely. Anyway, it won't affect oneself. The rain didn't stop until dawn. Shay's original shelter has been submerged. Fortunately, I didn't hesitate at that time and moved immediately. Otherwise, he would have to soak in water at night. Now I don't even know where to go fishing. It would be much easier if there were a raft. It's a pity that there isn't much energy in the body. It can only be thought about. The challenge has reached the 57th day. Musa also went to the old shelter to have a look. Although this place was not submerged, but it's not much different either. It's estimated that if there's another heavy rain, everything here will be ruined. Take the useful materials back for use. He thinks it's still necessary to start with fishing. Friends who often go fishing must know how bad it would be to fish in this place, unless it can be placed in the deep water area. Otherwise, the Air Force will always be by your side. Try to find a place with an open view. I don't expect to catch any fish today either. Anyway, let's set it up first. Musa extended the fishing line to the shelter. As long as there is any movement of the fishhook over there, the lid will then be pulled off. The sleep here is relatively light. The slightest sound will wake you up. From now on, just lie in bed and wait for the fish to bite. The sound of the lid clashing occurred that very night. Muzana hurriedly got up to check, although he had rushed over to pull up the fishing line, but still let the eel break free and leave. The worst thing is that even the hook slipped away. Now I'm really so angry that I can't sleep. If I had reacted faster, just now, go and pull up the fishing line early. We'll be able to have an eel feast tomorrow. It's a pity there are no ifs. Not everyone can be as comfortable as Colleen. She no longer merely pursues filling her stomach. Start to pay attention to the nutritional balance. The remaining dried meat can still last for some time. If you can't get the bonus even like this, I really think the other players are cheating. Her current goal is to strive to stay for 70 days. It has now surpassed the records of most of the contestants. If one can endure 100 days, Colleen is the strongest female player in the wilderness living alone. Of course, it's just a thought. She couldn't guarantee either that the meat would never stop. If one can win the bonus, when I get back, I'll bring the whole family for a trip. Experience how comfortable you are living. It wasn't long before they said it was raining again. Colleen is going to collect some worms as bait, then optimize and upgrade the kangaroo trap. Anyway, as long as there are no accidents, she can still hold on for some time. Now is a great opportunity to challenge oneself and break through. Hope the other contestants can persist for a longer time. I don't want to finish the challenge so soon. Musa felt so cold for the first time. I really don't want to get out of bed. It's just that this fishing line must be handled properly. I was thinking about eels all last night. It's just a little bit short. It would be great if it could be caught. You wouldn't lose the hook so badly either. Now one can only go into the water and have a look. Clean up the superfluous things. Hope there are still eels coming tonight. There was not much energy in the body to begin with. As soon as he got into the water, he shivered with cold. If this can't be handled well, catch something to eat. Then the rest of the days will all be over. It took quite a lot of effort to handle it well. It's just a pity that the lost fishhook wasn't found. Hypothermia symptoms occur now. He has to warm up quickly. The most terrifying thing is to be completely unable to feel the warmth or coldness. The water droplets on my body haven't been dealt with yet. Just put on your clothes quickly to keep warm. Wait for the water level here to drop a little. Only then will there be a chance to get the hook back. He especially needs food to fill his stomach. I don't want to be discouraged by the doctor because of my low weight. The challenge has reached the 59th day. Musa's situation is quite bad. The water level is still rising and approaching. It's definitely impossible to move again. All the fishing traps set up before have been pinched. So give up fishing and focus on sleep quality. Now I just want to stockpile more wood. He's going to lie warm in the bed tonight. There is not much energy left in the body, except for the necessary work requirements. He will devote himself entirely to fishing. I hope this can enable me to endure longer. But if there could be 2 more eels, he can hold on for a while longer. This thought is quite beautiful. I just don't know if music can do it. There's only this little stock left now. Hope to gain something before finishing the meal. Of the remaining 3, Shay is in the worst situation. There wasn't much to eat to begin with. The lake water is still covering upwards. If this could submerge the shelter, he could only choose to give up the challenge. If the rain doesn't stop, the situation won't improve. His intuition told him that it was time to go home, wash up, and sleep. Good grief. Could it be that a female champion is really coming? Let's wait and see together. You think that surviving in the wild means being so hungry that you can only chew on grass. In fact, they're living a very comfortable life. Look at this full bag of dried meat. Tear it directly into pieces and boil it in a pot. If we can all drink the broth, why would we need a bicycle? The most outrageous thing is that someone caught a wallaby. Just by looking at its size, you can tell it's not simple. This can be used for barbecues. It's still cooked in one pot. The fragrance will rush straight to the top of the head. Take this bite. Do you still think survival in the wild is hard? The challenge has reached its 60th day. Only 3 people remain on the field. Shay set up the fishing line before dawn, looking forward to having a pleasant surprise during the inspection later. The rain here has been falling all the time. Sooner or later, it will be submerged in the shelter. It will take quite a lot of time and energy to relocate, even with the supplementation of food. I'm still afraid of exhausting my body. Now we can only pray that the other players give up quickly. Suddenly, I heard some noise from the trap. Rush over immediately to see what's going on. I didn't expect there to be a big fish in the water. It has to be dragged up to celebrate. It has to be said that this eel is extremely desperate to survive. Almost escaped from Shay's hands. Only when there's a hole in its body can one feel at ease. It's so big that one is enough to eat for several days. My mood is finally a little better. While cleaning up, I was thinking about how much to eat later. Unexpectedly, there was still a pleasant surprise in my stomach. These insects look a little disgusting. It could just be used as bait to continue attracting fish. Unconsciously, the sun has already emerged. Shay hurried to cook the fish. Heat it directly in the pot. After a while, I finally felt a bit hot in my mouth. The more I think about it, the happier I become. I can't wait to take it out and eat it right now. Now Shay could only sit there and watch. When people have free time, they tend to have random thoughts. I especially miss the days spent with my family. At that time, there was meat at every meal on the dining table. It is impossible for green vegetables to appear. Where is it as frustrating as now? I sincerely hope that my family members can come over, even if it's just a look from a distance. One's mood will be much better. I don't know how long this kind of life will last. To be reasonable, the family should not want to see him so early. One has to take the bonus back by oneself. Judging from the current progress, there is hope of winning the bonus. I just don't know how many players are left. No one will want to stay here for 100 days. Everyone, hurry home, wash up, and go to sleep. Anyway, it's really nice to be able to come back and have a rest. At least there is still fish meat to satisfy the craving. I don't feel so annoyed anymore. The problem water level shows no sign of dropping. We still have to move and leave then. Think carefully about where it is suitable to live. The challenge has reached its 61 day. Colleen began to sing passionately again. It's true that the singing was really good. As the only female player on the field, it's really not easy. The surrounding environment is very damp. It takes quite a lot of time to make a fire every day. Surely some people will say that it would be fine to just collect more firewood to keep things going. The prerequisite is that Colleen has to fill her stomach every day. Only then could she collect a pile of firewood to make ends meet. The worst thing now is that the hoarded dried meat has gone moldy. It's all because of the excessive humidity here. Complaining is not a solution now. Let's still see which meats are edible. It's really in somewhat a pity to waste like this. I'm planning to tidy up a little and continue eating. Good grief. Aren't you afraid of poisoning? Colleen didn't dare to say for sure that she would get the bonus, but also want to strive to surpass the records of previous contestants. She predicted by the 70th day, there should be only 2 or 3 left. If you accidentally win the bonus at that time, just thinking about it makes me feel a little happy. Of course, we still have to start from reality. It depends on whether more food can be harvested. Usually, I collect firewood and wander around. All of them will consume a lot of physical strength. Now my weight is estimated to have decreased by a few pounds. She dares not even go to the toilet randomly, afraid of exerting too much force and resulting in insufficient weight. At present, it mainly relies on catching fish. It's just that the water level around has risen too much. The previous fishing spot has been submerged. Staying here any longer is probably just tormenting myself. Perhaps it's time to try one's luck elsewhere. What's a bit more uncomfortable is, one can't bask in the sun after the bay is submerged. The body feels colder in a damp environment. Sooner or later, it will be frozen into an ice lolly. While there is still strength to move now, explore as much as possible. See where better places can be found to obtain food. It looks quite good like this side. At least there are some plants to satisfy one's craving. Suddenly, the wind blew and another heavy rain was coming. Colleen was very anxious. Unexpectedly, what fell was not rain, but hail. Good grief. He made a buzzing sound from hitting his head. The most annoying thing is to fall into the clothes. All the goosebumps popped up in an instant. Although the hailstones this time are not large in size, but there's no way it can accumulate over time. Colleen dares not stay here any longer. Just want to get back to the shelter and rest as soon as possible. It was not easy to come back. My body is really exhausted. If we talk about who lives the most comfortably, it must be Musa. Others are still worrying about where to find food. He has planned the food and will stay for another month. But compared with when I first arrived, Musa's weight has dropped quite a lot. Facts have proved that no matter how much food is stockpiled, this weight is bound to decrease. As the lake water rises, beaches. All the nearby fishing spots were submerged. He hasn't caught any fish for a long time either. There must be quite a lot of physical strength. His plan to build a small pier, as long as it can reach the deep water area over there. He was confident to continue catching fish and hoarding them. It is planned to be built on the original framework. Theoretically, it doesn't require too much effort either. Seize the time and start taking action. The idea is wonderful, but the reality is too cruel. The materials here will be used up soon. The body is also extremely exhausted. If you want to finish collecting the materials quickly, then a saw must be used. He thinks this can save a lot of effort. The challenge has continued up to now. Mentally, it was full of ups and downs. Now I just hope that when that tree falls, it won't smash at the camp. I originally thought this would be very simple to handle. I never expected that such accidents would happen. Good grief. I almost didn't even have shelter. Musa still hasn't recovered yet. Anyway, is it good that the person is fine? The materials can be moved to build the pier now. You should know that he is already 63 years old. It's easy to imagine how difficult it has been to persist until now. Now that leg still aches faintly. I'm afraid the old injury will recur. It's really a struggle to hold on despite the pain. As long as enough materials are collected, the pier was built by hand. I just don't know if I can catch fish smoothly. He also specially got tables and chairs. No matter how fast the water level rises at this height, it will be of no use. A warning device was still set up. Make sure the fish can rush over by itself as soon as it is hooked. Does everyone think Musa has a chance to catch fish? Anyway, he is full of confidence. Now one can only sit here and wait for the result. The challenge has reached the 62nd day. The rain has been falling since last night until now. Colleen is almost moldy staying in the shelter. I didn't even think I could stay for 2 months. It has exceeded expectations by too much. She wants to show herself more in front of the camera. There are still many skills that have not been developed. A lot of driftwood was found on the shore before. She wants to use these to make some souvenirs. Surely some people will say it is a waste of time. It would be better to set up more traps. Everyone understands the principle. But Colleen just wanted to cheer herself up. The satisfaction this brings is second only to filling one's stomach. She kept trimming and polishing the driftwood and used the embers to burn off the excess parts. Has any expert figured out what this is about? The next step is to install the fishing line. Judging from her technique, it should be a guitar. The challenge can be lost, but the souvenir bag has to be taken away. Don't look at Colleen running to the wild to survive every day. In fact, her parents had hoped that she would become a singer since childhood. I just never expected to become a wilderness singer when I grew up. The timbre sounds really good. It feels like I can rely on this skill for the rest of my life. I went to the wild to organize a band. Colleen suddenly had a sudden burst of inspiration. An original song was created in just a few hours. If the program team likes it, welcome to send money to make the theme song. How about let's enjoy it together? Friends who like it can search for the full version to listen. The weather is getting better and better now. The contestants all like running into the sunshine. The mood is extremely good, even happier than getting food. If I could come and bask in the sunshine every day, it's not a problem to feel hungry for a week. The challenge has reached the 64th day. Musa went out to look for food. At present, only some plants are edible. These do not satisfy the stomach. On the contrary, the more I eat, the more uncomfortable I feel. So not everything is eaten. It's still necessary to read more and learn more. Suddenly, a heavy rain came. The water level began to rise sharply again. Fishing traps don't work either. If all of this could submerge into the shelter, I just surrendered and admitted defeat and went home. I felt so hungry that my stomach was twitching. There's not much stock left. In another 2 or 3 days, there won't even be a chance to get stuck between teeth. I really want to go home and have a big meal, then take a walk in the wild with my wife. They grew up together since childhood. Stick it together almost every day. This is the first time we have been apart for such a long time. Thank you very much for your wife's support and understanding. Otherwise, he wouldn't even have the courage to come over. It would be great if I could hug my wife now. I wouldn't feel so bad myself either. Whenever the contestants feel they are about to give up, they will all keep talking in front of the camera. Musa is also considering how about quitting now. He feels that he hasn't reached his limit yet. If we just give up the challenge like this, I guess I can only participate in the next life. Gritted his teeth and said he would hold on for a few more days to see. He doesn't believe that there is still anyone who can stay here for 3 months. I originally thought there would be nothing to do after nightfall. The sound of the lid dropping instantly perked up. If a big fish could be caught, it's no problem to persist until 100 days by oneself. The problem is that the more anxious one is, the harder it is to eat. Musa pulled hard and it was completely over. When the fish broke free and left, it also snatched the hook, by the way. He was so angry that his mouth was filled with fragrance. If I had known earlier, I would have been gentler and pulled it up. Now, it's really a case of losing both the wife and the troops. Just thinking of that big eel. His burning heart hurts so much. A tougher fishing line should be brought. Sure enough, you get what you pay for. Don't be stingy with this. The challenge has reached the 67th day. Heavy rain for 3 consecutive days. The water level has risen exaggeratedly. Does Colleen have no influence? She was still smiling in front of the camera, trapped in a shelter and doing nothing. This is not the challenge she wants at all. Finish all the beef jerky today. Try to tear into small pieces and put them in the pot. She didn't take the mere mold to heart. A pot of thick beef soup. My stomach feels much better. Originally, I was thinking of enduring until 70 days, but I've been trapped in a shelter all along. Deep down, I was extremely resistant, and there are also problems with the body. Worried that it might affect the subsequent pregnancy. Thinking about whether to just let it go like this. Shay has also lost all his means. It's been a long time since food was obtained. I still have to shiver there with cold every night. Only hold the heated stone tightly. Only then did I feel a little better. He didn't expect that the challenge hadn't ended yet. It's really tormenting enough. off. Just when Shay was dozing off, suddenly, you heard something moving around. Observe the situation around carefully. Hope to get some food to eat. I thought it was some kind of little animal. Unexpectedly, Shay caught the wallaby directly and brought it back. If nothing unexpected happens, it feels like he is going to win the bonus smoothly. Without further ado, let's directly serve the wallabies to their feast. Shay's hand is still trembling now. He didn't believe that other players could catch it either. One's own advantages are extremely significant. I just want to ask who else dares to come and stage a fraud. There isn't much on this person, but it's still enough for him to eat for a week. Anyway, as long as it's edible now, stuff them all into the stomach. Roast the wallabies on fire. It's convenient to remove the hair by myself later. Just roasting like this is already tempting enough. After being burned by the flame, it's much more convenient to remove hair now. Next, just put it on a shelf for smoking. It will be about right when the excess moisture is driven away. At this point, the internal organs can be put into the pot to cook. Take a bite first and put in your mouth. How long has it been since I last enjoyed such delicious food? Although it is not known how many players are left now, but it surely won't exceed 4. He has a pot of wallabies as a safety net. It's hard not to get this bonus. Can a championship be secured in advance? Let's look forward to the performance in the next episode together. In order to win the $1 million prize, the contestants were each showing their unique skills. Eating crickets raw can only be regarded as child's play. This is for peeling the eel skin. It was pulled apart by using both hands and feet. Look at the fat for a barbecue. It will definitely taste more fragrant. Shay quickly tasted the whip. Probably no one has shown it in front of the camera yet. This one doesn't taste as good as that meatball, except for a bit of fishy smell. This taste is really indescribable. Anyway, it can be swallowed. I just don't know how many contestants are left. Hope the challenge can end soon. Colleen has been in good condition all the time, always smiling in front of the camera. You should know the contestants who live alone in the wilderness in the first 2 seasons. None of them stayed as long as her. It can be imagined that most of the contestants in this session will go hungry. Her goal is to stay for 70 days and to go home. This is really not a place for human beings to stay, living alone in the wild for a long time. It made me so nervous. The early stage was quite smooth sailing. There is no shortage of food at all. The small life was extremely comfortable. It's a pity that there wasn't much food left after eating. The weight has dropped very much. There's another reason why she wants to go home. Selves to lose weight. Welcome to come here and experience it. It is guaranteed to make you extremely thin. Go outside and see what's edible. The more common ones are definitely insects. It can be easily found among some rotten trees. How about picking up a shovel and throwing it over to have a look? After smashing for a long time, I only managed to fix 1 cricket. The size is already quite good. I'm too lazy to take it back and roast it to eat. It would be more convenient to just throw it into your mouth. How about the taste? It's a bit like plain crayfish. It's surprisingly delicious. A hole has been pulled out of this tree. Hope it won't suddenly fall and hurt you. Let's take a look at Muse's side again. Since I'm old, no young person can endure it. My eyesight is still a little blurry now. There must be something wrong with the body. He is considered that such a state won't last long either. Even if there's a pile of food right in front of you now, it's also very difficult to get better physically. It's really a case of staying as long as possible. From this perspective, Shay has more advantages. Musa is betting that the other players have no food either, recalling that there was still flesh on my face when I first arrived. With rich experience in wilderness survival, it can be said to have gone quite smoothly, especially in terms of fishing. It has already crushed most of the players. It's hard to imagine when I reach the age of 63. Can I still be as healthy as him and work as an ox or a horse? At that time, I still thought I had stockpiled so much meat. It surely won't be too bad in the later stage either. It's a pity that there's a problem with the ankle. Later, the water level rose and harder. Now we can only see if we can catch any fish. Let yourself stay for a few more days. Unexpectedly, there was noise in the trap at night. Musa got up immediately without a second thought. Draw the fishing line slowly after learning the lesson. This time, no matter what, we can't let it be truly resilient. It took quite a lot of effort to finally get it done. It can be seen that the fat inside is rich. These can doing. My mood is getting better and better. After waiting for a long time, it was finally cooked. It was roasted to be crispy on the outside and tender on the inside. It looks particularly appetizing. Hurry up and get yourself a piece. It's been too long since I last enjoyed such delicious food. Every bite should be savored repeatedly in the mouth. Sure enough, this is how high-end ingredients should be cooked. Life has started to thrive again. Musa intends to hold on until 80 days first. If one's health improves by then, perhaps it can last for 100 days. It's quite a wonderful thought, but it feels impossible to persist for that long. Musa also in my hand. Let everyone in front of the camera eat first. Shay picked it up and put it directly in his mouth. The gravy swirls in the mouth in the past. It's about winning the bonus to make life better. So I was working extremely hard, especially in order to catch the wallabies. Specialize in manufacturing large traps. It was adjusted many times before and after. Still failed to catch the prey successfully. Most of the time, I was eating insects. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to hold on until now. As I miss my family more and more, he especially wanted to quit the challenge and go home. If not catching eels, to fill one's stomach. I guess I'm already lying at home. Things got better and better later on. The $1 million prize is getting closer and closer. Hope to see my family come by then. Let's celebrate this hard-won victory together. I can't wait to go back and reunite with everyone. Hope the other contestants can be more sensible. Wouldn't it be nice for everyone to go home early? The thing I'm most afraid of now is the physical examination. I was afraid that the doctor would come and say that I was not feeling well. It would be very uncomfortable if this were forcibly dissuaded. Do you all think Shay can win the bonus? The challenge has reached its 70th day. Colleen was extremely agitated. Those who don't know might think they have won the bonus. While speaking, she burst into tears. She really wants to stay and continue the challenge. But the body is also very important. One can only eat some insects every day. Anyone else would have couldn't stand it long ago. Colleen's current dream is to be a mother. When she gets old, she can only have and eat so much. In fact, it was no use for Colleen to make an effort. The remaining are the gap. But to be honest, it tastes really good after being cooked. It's a bit like the taste of crabs. After a brief taste, we came to the shore to rest. This should be her last wild performance. The singing is really good. Those who are interested can go and listen to the full version. Colleen doesn't think she has any regrets about coming. Call to announce withdrawal from the challenge. Soon the program team came over. Actually, it's quite a pity. I think she can still hold on for a while longer. Colleen was rather relaxed. Or to welcome the new life with a healthy body. 70 days are already wonderful days. Colleen is proud of her efforts. She is rather curious about how many contestants are left. Unfortunately, the program team didn't disclose it. We can only go back and wait for the broadcast to know. With the announcement of the end of The Voice of the Wild, only Musa and Shay remain. Who do you think is more likely to take on the challenge? The challenge has reached its 71st day. Shay is a little broken down. Why is the challenge still ongoing? He doesn't think there are still experts. Musa is struggling hard. If it weren't for getting an eel, the body couldn't hold on until now. I really want to ask the program team, has the challenge long ended? Just forgot to come and take him home. The challenge has reached the 73rd day. Shay was in an extremely good mood. He has fully integrated into the current life. It feels like staying for 100 days is no problem. The program team came again to conduct physical examinations for the contestants. What if there is any problem with the body? I'm afraid it could kill the game directly. Shay is in good spirits. It's just that the weight has dropped off the clothes. It's as if the bones are about to pop out. All indicators are on the verge of danger. If it were in the past, they would have been dissuaded long ago. But it's such a crucial time. They decided to let the contestants choose by themselves. If the challenge continues, once there is a problem, it will be carried away. Shay is definitely unwilling to give up. The program team will conduct more frequent checks later. All of a sudden, I felt even more stressed. Now only this pot of broth is edible. Hope during the next physical exam here. Musa didn't want to give up like this. It indicates that one will hold on until the end. Perhaps it might be because of his stubbornness. That's why I've been able to persist until now. Although he really wants to keep going. But it also depends on the inspection by the program team. Musa doesn't look has been deteriorating. The doctor is during the examination. The situation is not very optimistic. Musa felt dizzy when he stood up. The weight has dropped dramatically. The doctor did not advise him to continue the challenge. On the one hand, it was found during the examination that there was a problem with the stomach. Further examination better. Now I just want to finish tidying up quickly and go home. In the later stage, it really relied entirely on the wallabies. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to take on the challenge. Congratulations to Shay on successfully winning the championship. I wonder what challenges lie ahead. Let's wait and see together.